All right, all right. So let's see. Hello to everyone. I'm just going to give y'all some time to come into the chat. I hope everybody is doing well out there. Um, let me see. So I have this streaming to a couple of different places today. I'm doing something a little different. But this podcast is specifically catered to those of you that's on a spiritual journey, divine feminine out there, who's on a spiritual journey, and you are also a mother. Okay, so if you are a mother that is on a spiritual journey, why don't you go ahead and put some 333s in the chat, y'all? Put 333 in the chat if you are a mother on a spiritual journey. Um, let's see. I'm gonna give y'all some shout outs out there. So hello to Patricia. Wait a minute, Patrina Douglas. Let's see. DJ Sweetness, Zena, Do Blunted, Bruja, Aruja, Raven, Divinely Guided, Waterland, Nicole, Tiffany, Natasha, okay, Martinez, Donna. All right. I see quite a few 333s in the chat. So it's good to see y'all. Um, this was kind of like a sporadic uh podcast that my spiritual team dropped into my spirit a couple of days ago in regards to catering a message towards the divine feminine out there who are on a spiritual journey who happen to be mothers. Okay. I feel like this is a very necessary conversation because we don't have enough conversation surrounding the spiritual pathway and what it means to navigate motherhood. Because it's not always easy. Okay. It's not easy. You see, I can't even say it right. It's not always easy. Okay. Trying to maintain and continue to do the work to heal and to stay balanced and, um, still maintain your divine feminine essence, your sensuality while wearing so many hats. Because obviously there's a lot of expectations that comes for the divine feminine who's also a mother on a spiritual pathway. So we're going to be talking about this. I want this to be interactive today. So I'm going to be leaving the link here. Thank you to my moderators out there as well. And also Jessica is going to be joining me today. I thought she would be great to bring on because she is also very spiritual, but also a mother as well. So I'm going to leave the link here because I want y'all to join in. I want this to be an interactive conversation. And we're going to be discussing things such as breaking generational curses. As a mother on a spiritual journey, we're going to be discussing raising spiritual children. What does that look like? Okay. As well as maybe even co-parenting with someone who may not be on a spiritual journey, right? But you have what you're teaching your children, they have what they may be teaching their children based on what they was raising on and how you find a way to navigate that. And we may also talk about healing while trying to remain strong for everyone else, healing while being strong for everyone else. Okay. So we got a few different things that we can discuss tonight. So I definitely want y'all to come on and join in on the conversation. But let me bring Jessica up here. Hey, Jessica.
Hey, everybody.
All right. I'm glad to have you here. So, yeah, we're going to be talking
Glad to be
about
here.
breaking generational curses. I feel like we should start there
Yeah.
because on this journey, um, that is so vital. If you don't do anything else,
Yes.
that's like very important. And I've spoken about typically the declaration that I recommend to people is where you're breaking it not just on your side of the family, but also the father side of the family. Because if
Hmm.
you don't do it on their side, then the child will take on the curses from the father side. And
Hmm.
a lot of times that's not easy if there's still some bitterness, unforgiveness. It's like, ain't nobody about to break them damn curses on his side. But you have to push
Yeah.
past that for the sake of the children.
Hmm. That's right.
So um, how are you able to navigate, Jessica? Like, is there something that you can give as far as advice on your end? How many children do you have, first of all?
Well, I have four kids total,
Okay.
three kings. Okay. Three kings. And it's important to consider looking into your kids' birth natal chart. Checking the houses where you're having to look and see what the kid is carrying. What are they sent here to break? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So, because we all sign contracts. So
Hmm. Yeah,
it's
that's another thing because you and I we speak about that a lot as far as looking at the natal
uh-huh.
charts. You're really good at doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
it was not something that I was, that deeply into, but now I find myself being more curious, like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
what is my child's moon sign? We typically know their sun sign. We don't know their moon sign. We haven't tapped into their rising, their north node, and all of these different
Mm-hmm.
placements, that's important to know. And that way we can kind of gauge how we should navigate in our parenting and
Yeah.
cater it to that child specifically, but also being able
Mhm.
to prepare that child for what they might face in the future
In
based
the
on what's
future.
already in their natal chart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really good point. I didn't think about that. Um, so as far as let me see, because we already have somebody up here. Let me see. I do want to talk about raising spiritual children though before I start adding y'all to the chat. And I would like for y'all to come in if you have like different methods that you can recommend to other divine feminine out there, other mothers who are raising children or might be with child. Because I did see someone mention that she's pregnant right now. So for those people who don't know, if you have anything to add as far as different techniques to like align your children on a spiritual pathway, how to calm your children, how to balance out their energy, definitely come up. We would love to hear from you, even from, the elders who have already raised their children and they're out of the house, they're grown adults. What would you have done differently now that you are aware, or if you were aware at that time, just to add your opinion? I would love to hear it. So let's see. Um, y'all hear him in the background. You see what I'm saying? Hold on one second. Okay, so see, this is all in the flow. We got to go with the flow, y'all. I always say it's real life happening over here, but a lot of people tend to ask me, like, Shavi, how do you navigate? Many of you know I have 6 children, and they're all stair step outside of my oldest, who's 13, but right up underneath him, I have the 10-year-old, I have my 8-year-old, 2 7-year-olds, and a 6-year-old. So it can be a lot navigating, wearing many different hats. And I
Mm-hmm.
still do it because my mission is far greater than a little bit of noise in the background. I always say, if you got a problem with it, what can I do? They're still children.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have to learn how to manage. So let's just see. I do want to tap in. Jessica, do you have ways that you navigate right now to keep you balanced while you're still in the process of growing on your spiritual journey?
Yes. I sit with my spiritual team every day. Every day. Like
Yes.
that's first and foremost. Just like you pray every day, I sit with my spiritual team every day. I check my energy every day. And
Okay.
sometimes I get checked.
Yes.
You know? So, but that's what I need though. That's how I know I'm not just somewhere hanging in the balance. You know what I'm saying? So even like, it helps me to manage my time. It just
Hmm.
helps me to manage my time. And sometimes, your spiritual team will go off and let you just do a little something just to show you something. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I mean, your
but
children,
it
they'll be
all
your
brings you back to yourself.
said to you said, bring it back to
Yeah.
yourself. You kind of froze a
Hmm.
little bit there. What was the last part?
I said, but it all brings you back to yourself.
Hmm.
It brings you back in alignment. But you learn your lesson. You was like, okay, so this was that. Or you could see, especially if you're a Pisces moon, because I am, and I'm raising 2 Pisces moons. So
Mm.
boundaries is important. So I got to be able to teach my kids, look, especially my daughter, she got a lot of strong water placements. So boundaries is important because she's my mirror. So I teach her, you just gotta have boundaries. You gotta walk a certain way, when you're
Yes.
highly spiritual.
And that
So
makes sense with the boundaries. That is so important. A lot of times in parenting, you assume that, of course, children, they want to cling to you. Naturally, they cling
yeah,
to, especially the mothers. They cling to you. But you do have to set aside boundaries and say, you know what, this is mommy time. Even if you ain't doing nothing but looking at the ceiling. I want to take 20 minutes to just stare at the ceiling. Let me do that.
yeah.
Sometimes you do have to create that space because you have to remember that you are an individual first that
Mm-hmm.
needs your own time to go within and center yourself in order to wear those many hats for all of these different children. And what was interesting? I was watching a clip, and a guy was saying that, and I think we spoke about this too, Jessica. The guy was saying that you can have 5 different children, and they're going to have 5 different experiences, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
going to see you as being, you're not going to be the same parent to every child
So, yeah, that's right.
because they all have different personalities, different ways of expressing themselves. The energy is going to be a little different for each one. So they're
Yeah.
going to all have 5 different experiences. And a lot of times it's different when you talk about from the eldest to the youngest. The oldest
Mm-hmm.
child got the side of you that didn't know what the hell you was doing. You just coming in
Yes.
trying to figure it all out. While the youngest, they can get that side of you where it's like, okay, I got this. But
Yeah.
that's my baby though. You see what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? So, and then the middle children, poor middle children.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just kind of
You know,
on the wave in between the
they hang
two,
in the
trying to
balance.
figure out their space and everything. So,
Yeah.
every child is going to get a different version of you, and that's okay. It's just a matter of learning how to navigate the different personalities, and children will be your biggest testers because
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be right there at your side at least for 18 years, sometimes longer, depending on the setup. But they're going to be right there at your side next to mommy.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, the father will be the one that's taking on a predominant role. That's rare, though. Most of the time, they're going to be right there next to mommy. And so children will test you. Okay. They're going through their own growth phases, they're going through their changes. When these planets are shifting, these babies are feeling the energy. Sometimes we forget that too. It's easy to forget. Like these babies are they tripping now. It's a full moon tonight. You know, Energy is heightened. Or maybe during this time, if there's something going on, let's just say Pluto, I don't know, whatever, Mercury retrograde, it's all types of stuff going on. We also have to consider that they're having
Mm-hmm.
internal changes that they can't quite identify.
Yep.
So that's another thing. Don't you think? What do you think about that, Jessica, as far as the shifts in the planets and things?
Yeah, because with my daughter, she's a Pisces moon, but she's a Virgo. So I'm aware of like retrograde and Mercury, like for her. I try to keep an eye on that because my daughter, one, because she's so emotional. Like I said, she got strong water placements. Yeah, somebody said. So your moon. Let me say this: your moon sign is a piece of your mother.
Hmm. Are you frozen, Jessica?
I don't know what just happened. I'm an Aquarius sun, but I'm
Hmm.
a Pisces moon. So, but my sun sign, Aquarius itself, was progressed Pisces. So, as an Aquarius, I wouldn't sit in that Aquarius energy like the mean Aquarius, not with a Pisces moon. No, I was just sitting back, taking in everything. But when my sun progressed to Aries, I'm gonna be in a different energy. And I have Aries third house, so my communication is about to change in probably like the next 2 years. But my kids, Joshua, Chloe, Pisces, Moon, Aquarius, for Joshua, how they view me as someone that's very spiritual. So, and my eldest son, a Libra moon, I stay on him about how, his appearance and this and stuff. And he tells me people tell him, "Oh, your mom is beautiful," all the time, because we know a Libra is aesthetics. They like beautiful things. They like they women pretty, just pretty
Hmm.
things. So, and your moon sign is how you move emotionally in this realm. That's how you move. Because I saw somebody say my moon sign is an amplifier or something like that. Because it's how you move. That's the
Hmm.
person that the grandmama see. Well, your mama may say your sun sign is this, that, and the other, because that's your focus. But your grandmama gonna say, nah, but I see deeper. That's the moon sign, you know. So
Okay. So in
yeah,
other words, it is very important to understand your child's moon sign.
yes.
And when you
Hmm.
talk about the natal chart, if you can just give like a specific house that maybe somebody should tap into if they want to look at their child's natal chart, what should they look at?
What I do is the moon sign. Okay, where's the moon sign in the chart? Of course, the sun is important too, because that's your focus, that's your purpose. But your
Mhm.
north node, that's the energy that you have to materialize, you know, and it ain't gonna be easy. Materialize, like for instance, I got Gemini North Node, right? So that's the communicator. That's a, you Geminis walk up to people, they can talk to anybody. Me, you know, as an Aquarius rising as well. So I descend to Leo. So I always say whatever you rise to, what goes up must come down. So Leo. So the center stage, attention, while Aquarius is the mind, Leo is the heart. So those two are one. So my North Node helps me to tap into, you know, what those two placements, the sun and the seventh house with the moon, all that, it all just coincides together. And it pushes you, it propels you to your destiny, which is your North Node. So, and
Okay.
then you got to look at where your North Node sits in your chart. Mine is in the fifth house. So,
Okay. So we're
and
looking at
another,
the, okay,
mhm,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and another thing, before you get into any of that, I always tell people to tap into that fourth house. Um, Understand what you have to heal within yourself.
Hmm.
Okay, because let's just say you're a Leo rising. Okay, now I'm an Aquarius rising. That's father issues. You deal with abandonment, you know, neglect, all that stuff. But Leo deals with the mother issues. So that puts what Scorpio in the fourth house. Scorpio in the fourth house um, could mean, you know, the house of secrets, molestation, uh, and other things. So if you can stay
Okay.
on top of it, though, you know, cover your children. Check out that fourth house.
So the fourth house, well, for yourself as well as for your children, it sounds like it's
Yes.
very important. You
Mm-hmm.
mentioned the ascending and descending,
Yes.
um, the north node, the sun and the moon. And I
Mm-hmm.
think you also mentioned the seventh house too.
Yeah, because that's your
Okay.
partner, this house of partnerships.
Okay. All right. So that
Mm-hmm.
sounds good for those of you who are
Um,
interested in tapping in from that angle. So I do want to talk about a little bit as far as ways to navigate the energy because again children's emotions they're still learning how to navigate their own emotions. Hell, we as adults we're still learning how to navigate our
yes.
emotions, but imagine with children with all of the different shifts that's
Mm-hmm.
taking place and they're still learning about themselves. um I can tell you some of the ways that I've done it. Like, we haven't done it in a while. We have to get back to it really. But we used to sit in a circle and use the singing bowl. And I would pass it around to my children. But see, they broke two really good singing bowls. Okay. I spent a lot of money on them singing
Oh,
bowls and they broke them. So, you know, I got to buy some more. But we would sit in a circle and we would just everyone would get quiet. And I would pass it around and let everybody do their thing to balance their energy. Lately, I've been practicing having my children say kind things to each other. That is so hard for children.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
really know how to snap. They'll talk about a person from left to right, but if you say tell her something nice about herself, they struggle with that. So I've had them do things like that. There's been times where I've had to put my babies in herbal baths, salt baths. Right now, y'all know I got my spiritual body wash, so that makes it a lot easier to cleanse their energy with the spiritual body wash. But putting them in a salt bath or an herbal bath is very important. We do these things for ourselves, but a lot of times we don't think that their energy needs to be cleared, especially when you're thinking about everybody else that they're surrounded by, especially if they're in a public school system. They're there for about 6 to 8 hours a day, surrounded by a lot of children whose parents likely have no clue about the spiritual pathway. So they could be surrounded by a very toxic environment all day and all night before they get to school. And so they're coming in and they have certain patterns and behaviors, and your child is absorbing all of that. Not to mention the teachers who might not like their job. Some might. but many
Mm-hmm.
of them might not. You see what I'm saying? And so all of this energy, they're absorbing this. And children, they're tapped in. You see what I'm saying? I guess the less trauma that they go through, the more receptive they are to energy. So they may
Mm-hmm.
not be able to verbalize why they're feeling a certain type of way, but they could have been picking up on little Billy's energy all day, who was
Yeah.
sad because mama and daddy got into a fight last night. You see what I'm saying? But they end up expressing it in a way where they're having a tantrum and don't even understand what the source of it is. And you like, I know you ain't doing all of this because the lead on your pencil broke. I just know it can't be that deep. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of times they'll express it from that angle. And so we have to know how to tap in. Another thing that I have done with my children, and I still do, is I'll have them sit in a circle and we'll pull cards. So I'll shuffle and I'll say, okay, you pull your card and I'll take a look at it. Okay. This allows me to see what's going on within them, and it shows me those things that they cannot verbally express. They might not have no clue that they're feeling left out. You see what I'm saying? Like right here, I pulled the high priestess. So I have them just pull a random card. Look, these three of swords is in a reverse at the bottom of the deck. So maybe sometimes they just need to be more silent in order to heal from something. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they need me to be more spiritually aware and tapped in to do different things to help them to heal from something. Like it's, you never know. So it's good to use the cards as a tool. That's why I say everybody
Yeah.
should have a deck of cards, because it's a very good silent tool that allows you to communicate with your spiritual team, but also tap in. Have you done that before, Jessica?
No, but I definitely thought about it. But I didn't want to just put it on them because my main thing is like creativity. I want them to like more express themselves. So if I can locate you, I can help you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I could purify that state from where I'm at. So and then like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I got well, two of them are Pisces moon, so I want them to express themselves. But see, Joshua, he came to me and said, "Mommy, can you teach me astrology?" Yes, so he's interested in learning astrology more so than tarot.
Yeah,
So
and you
yeah,
know what we have to consider too? We have given birth to age of Aquarius babies.
yes,
These babies, they different. Like they are not. I'm talking about they moving
yes,
fast. I say my oldest son, well, he's 13 now, so I would definitely say he's been born. He's very, I mean, when I tell you this boy is sharp and smart, it's wild. But so yes, all of my children, but my oldest daughter, when she came in, like her head, she was just sitting up, first day coming out of the womb, looking around, just as aware. And it's like, how is your neck that strong? And you just came out. Back in the day, old school babies, we
yeah, head be
slouched
all
over,
you,
like
yeah.
what the hell is going on with the neck? But these new babies, it's not like that. So they're coming in, hitting the
Hmm.
ground running, very curious about what's going on beyond what's been taught for too long. The traditional way of doing things. These babies they're moving full speed ahead into the age of I know. So those curiosities need to be met. I have a few of my children who are very interested in what I do. They love crystals. These babies love crystals. Okay. And they pay attention to different things in nature. So getting them out in nature, having them walk barefoot, teaching them about hugging trees. We do a lot of that during the summertime. Um, and it's just various things that you can do with your children to keep their energy balanced. Okay. So I just wanted to give y'all some of the things that I do, but I would definitely like to hear what y'all are doing out there when you tap in. So let me see. I'm going to bring someone up here. So we have Kay here, and let's see. How you doing, Kay?
Peace, Queen. So glad to see both of y'all again. How are y'all doing?
Yes,
We're
I knew you
fine.
looked familiar. I thought so.
Yeah, I dialed up this avatar a little bit since the last time
Okay.
I saw y'all.
All right. Well, welcome back. So, what did you want to add to the conversation? Do you have children?
Yes, I have three children. My oldest daughter, she is 23. My middle son, which is the son that has special needs that I told y'all about before, he's 17, and my
Okay.
youngest is 9. So my daughters were both born in January. They're both Capricorns. My oldest is January 6th. My son is August 7th, and my youngest is January 13th. So that's your 6 plus 7 and 13. And then that 1 to 3 break down to 4. It's 4 of us. So I don't know. I guess I just kind of wanted to ask y'all. I mean, I don't really have anything particular that I do or that I'm not doing in terms of, like cleansing their energy. Like I'm always speaking positive over them. For my son, I'm always concerned about him, based on what you mentioned as far as going, out into the world of school, with him being nonverbal. I put a black obsidian egg in one ankle of his sock when he go to sleep because he doesn't like wearing jewelry. And then I'll put a copper anklet on his other ankle, so I'm always trying to do whatever I can in a natural way to cleanse his energetic space, because of all of the personality types that he's around in his school environment, which is a school for children that has special needs. My oldest daughter, she's very assertive, always been very spiritual. She lives on her own. I feel like I raised her to be more independent, not knowing what was going to happen with my son when he came along and ended up being diagnosed with autism. So I'm proud in that respect, but I feel like I kind of lost out a little bit in terms of maturing her really fast. But I did that because I knew the work that I had, or kind of knew, but didn't really know the magnitude of the work that I had, for my son. And then my youngest daughter, I'll just tell y'all the truth. I was actually on birth control. And I always tell people she must have double dutched out of heaven, or because I said, honestly, I was not expecting when I went to that appointment for them to tell me that I was expecting. But, then she came. So they're all 8 years apart. But with my little one, out of all my children, my grandmother, who is, now transitioned, used to always say that she was more peculiar. Like old folks say, she's been here before. And she's the one that's like me, that can always tap into the energy or always get the energy of the deceased, of those that have transitioned. So my mom, she's gone now, but she lost a friend that she's been friends with for almost 33 years. And I knew a week before he was transitioning that he was gonna, but I just didn't really know the words for it. And I wasn't quite sure if it was him. But I knew that his ancestral presence was already here in the home. And as soon as my little one came home, the lights flickered and she knew it was him. And then when she was getting dressed to school the other day, was a ladybug in the bathroom. It's cold in New York right now. What is the ladybug doing up here? And she said that was him. So that one is always tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. But I worry about all of them. But her, I'm more concerned about because I homeschooled her from pre-K until third grade. So this is her first formal year in school. And I just got her report card and she did great academically, but I'm glad that you mentioned that. I need to buy that spiritual cleanse, for all three of my children. But it's her, both of them more so than anything. My oldest one, I'm never concerned about, her navigating herself out here in the world because she's very assertive. She speaks her mind. Sometimes I feel like I gotta have that stash of what do you call it? Bail money, just in case, because she's very assertive out here, and will speak her mind, But I say that to say I'm never concerned about her. But it's my two youngest children, my son that's on the spectrum and my youngest daughter who is now, in the public school system, that I'm concerned about. But with them, they always sleep with sound baths on, so I'm always doing my best I can overnight, to cleanse their energy before they get up, in the morning. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't even think about that to bring it up. Yeah. We do listen to the frequencies a lot of times as well, especially my babies. They like to pile up in my bed, so I already have them playing a lot of the times. Frequencies and affirmations to place, plant them into that subconscious mind. But what I do find is that, you're very similar to me as far as your youngest baby. You homeschooled her up until third grade, and this is her first year in school. So I had a very similar, with my babies, homeschooling them. Okay. And this is now... It's been like a year and a half since they've been experiencing the school system. Okay. So I do find that when I talk to the teachers, they're like, your babies, they different. But it's because you get them in those vital years. Like they say 0 to 7. You don't really want the school system grabbing a hold of them too soon. Like you got to be able to imprint within them who they are at their core. So I feel like your daughter is good just off the strength that you already got her in those vital stages. But just reminding her of who she is and to not absorb things that's just not necessary to who she is from her roots. So, some schools, they're going to teach you about certain things, social studies, history, things
Right.
like that. So I
It's
always
funny
tell
you
my
mention
baby,
that. I find myself always going back to debunk the myth, so to speak.
yes,
She'll come home and tell me, and then I'm like, okay, well, I gotta tell you, baby, even if I gotta water it down and give it to you, like giving milk to a baby and then you can eat the meat later, hence
yes,
the metaphor. I try to do that, especially with, holidays, and just what the rubric is, for the public school system, based on Common Core, how they're modifying, what's being taught and having to tell her,
mm,
no, this is what really happened,
yes,
so, sometimes it's a little disappointing, for her. And then in this school she goes to, she's not there with a lot of people of color, but it's a public school, believe it or
hmm,
not, so one of the things I am also concerned about is, there's so many ethnic backgrounds, and I don't want to dissuade her from, she's always friendly. And I think that comes from being homeschooled for so long that she just really wants to make friends and that,
right.
she's very easily impressionable. But that said, what is either one of y'all, I'd love to hear from y'all, your take on this, 6-7 phenomenon,
Gosh.
from the children. Because my mom is Christian, I don't knock it, that's my foundation, the Black church experience, I'm grateful for the discipline, but I unsubscribed a long time ago, if that's a good way to put it. But my mom sent me a video the other day and I watched like 2 minutes of what the lady had to say. And I was like, oh God, I can't do
Yeah.
this, rhetoric about it being demonic and all of this, because numerology, that's us. We are mathematics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
I'd love to hear what's your perspective on it.
I have to jump in on that first, Jessica. Let me just speak on that because I was going to talk about this,
Okay.
even though I still don't know what the hell it means. Right? My
Yeah.
babies, they'll just be counting and they'll be 6, 7.
Right.
Like, you know what? But I don't even. They told me that at the school, apparently the principal is like, if we hear y'all saying that, you're going to get in trouble. And I'm like, hold on, we got to
Yeah.
backtrack a little bit. Last time I checked, the number 6 and the number 7, they mean what they mean energetically to me. But if somebody else decided to put a meaning on a number and we taking that and running with it to the point where babies can't even say the number 6 and 7 without people losing their mind, then
Right.
it's like we giving people way too much power because now they're telling us what to feel when we hear certain numbers.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can't give them that much power. So I just be like, okay, 6, 7, but what's going on? It's like, so what does it mean? Do you know?
I never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Oh, well, as far as I know, and anybody in the comments, I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, and that's the other thing, having a 9-year-old and I'm 45 years old, sometimes I feel like I'm real old school in a sense, because she'll be like, mom, you know, you sound like an old mom when you say this. And I'm like, but you're 9, how do you, decipher that? But as far as I understand, somebody said it was a basketball player that's height is 6'7", and there was like some kids in the crowd at a game doing 6'7", like with their hands or something like that. But that's all I know. I still don't know
Okay.
the premise behind the fad, if you will.
Yeah, last time I checked, it means the lovers and the chariot.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. But I will, if we kind of redirect a little bit, because I would say don't even worry about that. It's going to always be another
Yeah.
trend, something else that they're saying. They were saying
Mhm.
something else last year. I forgot what the heck it was, but I don't put too much stock into it. But as far as you mentioned your youngest child, I think we spoke about your youngest. Now your middle child, he's
Yes.
17, and you said he has autism and he's
Yes.
nonverbal right now.
Yes. He speaks
So
in words and phrases. So his communication is now at this point, it's meaningful in terms of him really trying to explain what he wants to do. So he's just now, and I'm grateful for it, just speaking 2 to 3 word sentences, and enunciating better, but not able at this time. And I'm grateful that that's going to change, but to be able to just have a fluent, conversation, but him, that's the one I've been fighting for him since day one. Oh, look, the
yes,
little lights flickering again. And that's not electric. Love to tell you that's the sign. I keep going
yes,
hard, like to the point where I have other parents that are asking me, how they can, get the language to advocate. But I've been doing this grassroots. I had to learn how to do this, for the past 15 of those 17 years.
Yeah. So the thing is, he understands what you're saying to him, right?
Mm,
You're able to communicate with him, but he's just not able to necessarily fluently articulate back to you what he really feels. So I've
right.
spoken to a few parents who have children who have autism, and I have recommended to them to make your own cards,
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
because this is a form of communication here. You see what I'm saying? And you may find that, okay, even though you know your son pretty well, it might be some moments where his energy, you might want to tap in just because, or maybe the energy is a little bit more heightened than usual. And he's
Okay.
not able
Yeah.
to tell you exactly what's going on. So you might have some cards that says, I'm not feeling well today, or I need it to be a little bit more quiet, or I need something creative to do, you know, or
Okay.
I need an extra hug. It might be something like that. Different messages that you can put on the cards, and you might just say, "Hey, pick one," you know,
Okay.
um, or you could just pull one for them yourself and use that as a tool of communication. I do find that, I mean, we know that the English language is all types of spells and things going on inside of the English language. So it's
Right.
not like it's the worst thing that anybody wouldn't necessarily know how to articulate it. It's kind of an advantage because it allows you to place information into his mind in a way where he's able to express himself without, let me see, like rather than saying, I'm broke. He ain't going, you won't hear that from him.
Right. No,
You know what I'm
we
saying?
say we're temporarily out of cash. We never say broke because that's spiritual.
Temporarily
Yeah.
out of cash. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's just certain things that he's not going to articulate that we have been programmed into saying, and we try to undo it now. Here we are trying to undo the language that we've been taught.
Right.
So I would just say find his natural gifts, which you're probably already tapped in, very tapped in if you're observing him a lot. But really the cards, though, that's a really powerful tool. Do you have anything you want to suggest, Jessica?
No, I don't. But I did want to ask you. Did you know your three your because you mentioned the number 8. I think you were saying your kids were like 8 years apart.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your because that's some Saturn energy. You said two of them was Capricorns,
Yes,
right?
my both my daughters are. My son, he's a Leo.
Okay, so it's Saturn and Saturn. So what's your rising or your moon sign?
I'm not
No.
sure, but I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you might want to check into like your rising energy and
Okay.
your north node. If you know your birth natal information, like your time of birth,
Yep.
location and all
Absolutely
that
do.
stuff, check that out. And look and see what your north node is, because it was definitely some lessons in them
Okay.
8 year, spans, but it was lessons
Okay.
like for the foundation. Because I just wanted to cut the card to see what would come out. And the 8 of
Oh,
Pentacles,
feel free, please.
the 8 of Pentacles came out because I was
Oh
like, dang,
wow.
what's the meaning of all those eights? So to get the 8 of Pentacles, you definitely had to, because you mentioned something about four. It's a foundation that you had to build, but one, you had to get the lessons first to
Hmm.
build a solid foundation. But you had to learn to be patient. You had to learn it. It might have felt a little heavy at times, but
Oh yes.
yeah. So just if I could say anything to you, I just say gratitude. Because one thing about Saturn, it's like a up and down thing. So just learn whatever your water says. You say you're Scorpio, so it's meant for you to deal with deep things. It's meant for you got the back to endure.
Mhm.
The mental stability, all of it. You strong.
Yeah, my
So
mom calls me Ford F-150 tough. I mean,
yeah.
even still trying to invoke my divine
Let's look
feminine.
at this
You
man
know.
looking at his I don't know if y'all can see that.
Oh
Mhm.
Strong.
wow.
You
Yeah.
strong, girl.
Yeah.
So, and you building strong children.
Mhm.
So
Yes,
just
ma'am.
imagine, when you let's just say you decide to, create your cards with your son, it may open up, his throat chakra. I can see alignment, you know what I'm saying, for your son.
Thank
So
you.
you just, step out there, go a little deeper, Scorpio.
Yes, ma'am. I sure
Okay.
will.
That's good advice. And another thing to consider is like every year, that's your personal year that you want to keep
Mhm.
up with. So even for your children, like right now, your son at 17 is in year 8. Well, personal year
Right.
8.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, actually, you know what? I'm thinking about the age itself, but if you add his
Yeah, that's
his birth date to this year, 2025. So let's just say he was born January 15th. 1 plus 1 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5. That's going to tell you his personal year. But I
His
also
birthday
like to
is
think
8808. Yeah. His birthday is 8808. I always tell
my
people he
goodness.
literally must have wanted to watch the Olympic opening games on that Friday. Because that's what
Wow.
we did. He was born at 3:46 p.m. and that's what we were doing that evening. I was trying to get him to nurse, and we was watching the torch lighting for the Olympic ceremony that Friday night. Hmm.
girl, that's a
That's
lot.
powerful.
Yeah. If I, you know what, you just align your energy with Saturn, not just for
Okay.
you, but for your kids too. So, what Saturdays? Do rituals on Saturdays.
Okay.
Google
Mhm.
what Saturn hour, because there's a relationship with Saturn there for you that you need to embark on.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Noted.
Yeah.
communicate with Saturn,
Okay.
the Chrome mother.
Yeah, and tap into that number 8 for him just to see how
Mm-hmm.
can you navigate with, raising him and tapping into his natural gifts with that number 8 cuz I'm
Mm-hmm. Because he
every time I see
definitely.
the 8 I think about Leo for some reason. I don't really know why, but I always
Right.
associate it with Leo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And he's
But
a
what
Leo.
Leo is the
he's
number 8 month or something like that, right? Leo. I
Yep.
I think
think.
so.
8808. Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay,
Totally
yeah.
Yeah.
safe.
So for
Hmm.
some reason, I always feel like so maybe there's something there. He's meant to shine, but it's connected to some sort of gifts that he has.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be able to tap into that. I feel
Yeah.
like you'll be able to
Yeah.
develop that over time and really figure out what that is. But I would strongly suggest that you tap into the cards and see if that's a tool that will work well for you as far as navigating your relationship with him. Did you
Okay.
ask something else before we get off? I'm trying to see if we covered everything already.
Oh no, I always appreciate the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from both of you ladies. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Welcome.
it.
All
Yep.
right, Kay, it's
Yeah.
good seeing you again. Thank you.
Likewise, Queens. Thank you. Peace,
All
Queens.
right, let's see here. So I'm going to bring Queen V. Let's see, Queen V. How you doing? Uh-oh.
Oh, hey, hello. I'm great. How are you?
Hey.
Very good,
I
very good.
wasn't expecting to get picked. I
All right, well, it's good to see you here. So how many children do you have?
have three.
Okay,
I have
Okay.
three
three
children.
again.
And I'm sorry. I apologize if you hear snoring. My dog is behind me. I'm in the car.
That's all right.
And she's snoring behind me. So yeah, that's what you hear. But I have three children. They are you want me to give you the ages?
Yeah, that's good to know.
31, 25, and 19.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So you got a nice little gap with that last one there, huh?
Yeah, they're all 6 years apart,
Okay.
and I have five grandchildren also. But
Okay.
yeah, just wanted to know like if anything was coming through at all that you guys could give me pertaining to that.
Um, let me see. Did you want to just I guess we can pull some cards. You want to see as far as your relationship to your children, or if you could be a little bit more specific there.
Um, yeah, the relationship to my children. We all have good relationships. Generally, my second daughter is a little bit more strange. She's a little bit more of the challenge, but I think she is supposed to, challenge me with certain things. So we can
Mhm.
go into that with her if you want.
Okay. So when you say challenge, is it like a communication barrier where you feel like y'all have a hard time understanding each other, or what is the
Yeah,
challenge for you?
that's it. A hard time understanding each other. And it's like as a mother, you expect that your child should understand you more because they've known you since they've been here. You know what I mean? So but with her, it's like, yeah, she feels like there is a communication barrier between the two of us. and she's,
Okay.
yeah. So just want to know what
Well,
that
you know what? I'll
dynamic is
tap in.
about.
I'll see what is her perception of your energy towards her first.
Okay, that
Because
sounds good.
sometimes, it's all about perception. Like she might be
Mm,
seeing it one way, you're seeing it another way. So then if we tap in and see what's the perception, then that'll kind of give you a gauge as far as like, okay, how can I shift things just a little bit to get on the same page? So we're starting off with the Knight of Swords. Okay. So she feels that when you communicate, you come in hard and you come in heavy. No, you don't hold nothing back. It's like you gonna get this word, you're gonna get this truth. Like she feels like it's a little bit aggressive in a sense. Okay, that's how she perceives your communication, your way of expressing yourself.
okay.
Sometimes she might feel that it's to call her out in front of others in some way.
So she's on
Sometimes
the
she feels that
defensive,
it
like what
puts
I'm
her on
saying.
a defensive
Hmm.
because naturally, I mean, this knight is charging in. They're charging at the person with the sword of truth, the ace of swords. It's like, I have the sword of truth. I'm about to tell you exactly what it is to bring you some mental clarity. And you could definitely mean well, but I
Mm-hmm.
think she feels like your approach is a little bit more aggressive,
Harsh.
and it makes her feel like, yeah, she has to, defend her position. Let me take one more real quick. Yeah, the Hierophant is here. So it's just showing, I feel like you mean well. You seem to be a natural teacher. You see what I'm saying? Like you want things more structured. There's a
Hmm.
certain level of respect that you expect. How old is she again?
25.
Okay, 25. So
Mhm.
it's all about structure, it's all about discipline, and it's the Hierophant is the teacher. So I feel like she does respect a lot of the things that you have to say, but she feels like the way that you bring it to her is a little bit aggressive at times.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I
So
know
it's
it's
something
like
to
it's a
consider. Yeah.
communication thing and a delivery thing, and yeah, that type of energy. And
Hmm.
I'm a little bit passionate, and I think she misconstrues the passionate with the aggression, or yeah.
What's your sign?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Scorpio. I'm October 23rd. I'm actually on a cusp, but I'm definitely more leaning Scorpio.
And this daughter's sign is what now?
She is a Capricorn.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean Scorpios,
Mhm.
Intense.
that stinger is something else
Yeah.
sometimes, but you're all about transformation. So you know how to go through the change. You've been through a lot of transformations in your life. So it's almost like your standard. It's like, you
Yeah. Your
expect certain things from her
expectations.
because
Yeah.
you've been able to navigate certain changes in your personal experience. So maybe, I mean, you want to keep the bar high for your children. We always expect them to do better than us. But
Mm-hmm.
Right.
let me see. What do you have on your end, Jessica?
Well, one, I got the Akashic Records card. Okay, so that's in reverse, it's like high expectation, fear, doubt. See, that's the energy behind the sword. So you say you're a cusp Sag, Scorpio cusp Sagittarius, right? So
Libra, Scorpio.
oh, Libra. So that's the sword there. So it's you see where you could bring the balance. And see, the polar opposite of Libra is Aries. And so I would say just try to find the grounding, because you know a lot. You know a lot when it comes down to and that looks like it's from like experience, because with this Akashic records, this is like this is like a library of information, like
Okay.
secrets. It's like you have like the ability to access and to see things that nobody really see. So it's like you're protecting, and that's what you're doing. It ain't like you're protecting. That's your aim. That's your goal. But
Mhm.
connect, go at it about a different angle, I would say. Because if
Mhm.
not, the bottom of the deck of this after tarot, it's a ten of swords, so it'll be I think your daughter oftentimes feel like a betrayal energy, from the way you communicate.
It hurts her. It sounds like it
It
hurts her
hurt,
feelings a
yeah,
lot.
it
Is she
hurt.
very
Yeah,
sensitive?
Yeah, she is. She is
yeah,
very sensitive. She portrays like a hard shell, but it's
yeah,
very, yeah, easy for maybe me as mom to penetrate that. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. Did you have
Yeah.
anything else you wanted to add, Jessica?
I did want to pull an angel number, girl. I'm gonna give you this card right here, the 666, because I wanted to know why all the sixes, and I was just shuffling, and this ended up being at the bottom of the deck. So, personal responsibility. It's time to reflect. This number can have very negative connotations to some, but from your angels, it's actually a powerful reminder to stop focusing on the material world so much. It's a strong message from your angels to take personal responsibility in your own life and ask yourself in all areas, what do I need to do differently? Sit quietly and reflect on this question today. So I would say, just like we were saying, um, don't let that friction or that conflict get to you as to why this child put me in a space. That's that material thing that you don't need to hold on to. And like I was saying, because Libra energy, try to find a way to balance, even though it's going to be different for you. It's a shift for you, but see, you're trying to you're it's causing you to be able to see from a different perspective on how to reach her.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. That thanks. I feel that definitely. But I do have one more question for my oldest daughter. Right, she's very guarded with her feelings, and it doesn't really. She's a Gemini, and she doesn't really. She has like a very hard outer shell, and as of lately, I just felt like the need to reach her more, as if she wants to reach me, but she doesn't know how to tell me. So I just want to know if there's anything there. I don't know if you need her birthday or
Um,
anything like
no,
that.
I mean, I don't necessarily need it, but I would like to see what is she suppressing? Has she always been like this since she was a child?
She's always not been one to complain. You know what I mean, about things that may be bothering her. Yeah, she'll try to hold it in and tough it out or whatever. But yeah.
Okay, let me tap in and see real quick. I did want to ask you too, because the Hierophant came out. How long have you been on a spiritual journey?
Oh, for a while now. I'll say really, really, really good since like 2016, probably.
So most of their rearing, you taught them the spiritual pathway, or is it a split energy? Where's
Mostly the spiritual pathway.
okay, so are they taking on that energy now? Are they focused on the spiritual pathway? Do they know how to center themselves, or are they more aligned with religion right now, or nothing at
Um,
all?
I,
Uh oh, we lost her.
Um,
Let me
are you there?
see.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can
okay.
hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Uh-huh.
can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I can't hear you now.
Okay,
That was her just trying to call me.
okay. Now you're not driving, are you?
Her
Are
microphone
you
is muted.
driving?
Can you hear me?
Are you
Mm,
driving right now?
I can't hear you. Wow.
Okay,
driving. It looks like she is
I'll
driving.
hang up and call
yeah,
back in.
okay. Because she could
Okay.
be riding in the car with somebody, so okay. No, I wanted to ask her. Oh, damn, I almost messed up. Okay. No, I wanted to ask her about how long she's been on a spiritual journey, because that makes a difference to her children. They're grown
Yeah.
enough to, be able to
So
balance out their energy and to do certain spiritual rituals to clear themselves, to heal themselves, and
mhm.
things like that. So that's something to know, because with that Knight of Swords and the Hierophant, it's almost like a resistance to what she's telling the middle daughter with that Knight of Swords and the Hierophant that came out. It's like, especially if she taught them a certain way,
Mhm.
but there's like an opposing energy, like I don't receive that from the middle daughter. So I was just trying to see, but let me bring her back up.
Okay.
Okay. uh Queen V.
Her mic is muted again.
Hmm. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Well, you know what I'll do? Um, I'll take her down. I'm still gonna pull the cards for the she said the oldest daughter, right?
Yeah.
Because she can always come back, or maybe she's listening now. But this says difficulty hearing intuitive messages. Now, this is a throat chakra card. Many of you are familiar with my Heal Yourself deck. This shows you what chakras are blocked and why they're blocked. So it's showing that your eldest daughter, her throat chakra is blocked. But she has a hard time tapping in to her intuition. It's like she doesn't really trust herself as much. So she might not trust what she has to say as much. So she kind of keeps it in rather than expressing it. Let me see. Is this she keeps it in rather than expressing it. Let me bring her back up here. Okay, Queen V.
Yes, I'm back. Thank
Okay,
you.
did you catch that part that I was are you driving right now?
I'm in the passenger seat.
Okay, okay, thank you. Well,
Uh-huh.
yes, I wanted to know because I just pulled this card for your eldest daughter, the 30-year-old,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So it's showing that her throat chakra is blocked, but
Okay.
it's like she may not trust
Hmm.
her own expression for some reason. But I'm also picking up with this saying difficulty hearing intuitive messages. She could be very spiritually gifted. You want to
Mhm.
consider a lot of times the high priestess doesn't say much unless, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's something that is worthy of being spoken. So she might just be naturally like that, but consider her throat chakra is blocked. Let me
Mhm.
see. I also have here the sacral chakra. So this is
Okay.
speaking on self sabotage and low self esteem.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
she might, it sounds like she does have some issues with self esteem here, but she's suppressing that.
Mhm.
Do you have you found that she's had a pattern of self sabotage, or does she start things and finish them, or does she start things and then lose inspiration?
I'm kind of lose inspiration. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. She'll
so
start not follow through all the way.
okay, so yeah, I think that this might have created some low self esteem within her, feeling like, okay, I wish I would have been able to carry that all the way through, or still trying to figure herself out. It sounds like so. It's a little bit deeper. Let me take one more. Okay. Now, I don't know, is this an issue for her? Does she have any issues with drinking or maybe overusing anything?
Mm. Possibly.
Okay.
Mhm.
So this is the root chakra. Okay. So if she
Mhm.
struggles with these things, then naturally she's typically when people gravitate towards certain things, you're trying to suppress something. You don't want to really face it head on.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit deeper. So I don't
Mhm.
know that you want to discuss this necessarily openly in front of everybody, but if you want to get a personal reading, whether from myself or Jessica, feel free to tap in and we could dive deeper on behalf of your daughter or have her reach out if she's, on a
Yeah.
spiritual pathway. Um, but it's the root, the sacral, and the throat. Jessica, did you want to add anything?
I'm gonna say this. Your daughter, you said she's a Gemini,
Yes. Mhm.
so your daughter knows a lot. She's very, very she's smart. Sagittarius backs her energy up. She knows a lot of truth. She could possibly be a teacher or somebody that could point somebody into the right direction. But uh, it's a lot of it's some illusions here. It's
Mhm.
I'm gonna say your daughter is maybe surrounded by a lot of energy vampires or something like that. It's something that tugs at your daughter's energy.
Mm.
And it puts her in a position. I'll say that.
Mhm.
Um, so we got I got the Knight of Swords card here as well. So
Hmm. Could
I
it
honestly
could it be her children that require a lot of energy from her?
it could be whatever it is. It's something that's very very draining.
Her boyfriend.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked like it's a man. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna, but I'm just saying. But
Mhm.
yeah, I really don't want to say really right here. You can send
How
me your
comfortable are you, Queen V, with this
email.
conversation being on live? Are you comfortable with this?
To an extent, like I know one of my daughters, she knows I watch you, so she
Okay.
may, yeah, tune
Okay.
in too. So we could do a private conversation if that's
Mhm.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm fine
Okay,
with that.
definitely. Yeah, so definitely
Mhm.
tap
So
in.
that,
But I would just say use, keep them up with your spiritual practices, the things that you have learned to navigate. But because it's only one of your children that has children right now, the 30-year-old, your
No,
eldest daughter.
my both of my daughters do.
Oh, okay,
They
okay.
both do.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, they got a lot going on. They're still trying to figure themselves out, still very young, but still managing babies. So it's a lot. They need to be watching this podcast. But outside
yeah.
of that, there's spiritual work that they really want to tap into doing on a regular basis. Have you done the generational curse breaking for your children?
I have, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, I would just say you want to consider, as far as your direct relationship with your eldest daughter, is that a lot of the things she's dealing with is internal. So until she dives deeper to address those things, it's going to always feel kind of difficult penetrating through the shell that she's built. I feel like that's going to be for anybody in her life, though. And
Yeah.
with Jessica pulling the Knight of Swords, it could very well be that maybe she's that way with you, but she
Yeah.
talking to somebody, like she going in with that Knight of
Yeah.
Swords. So it
Yeah.
sounds like if somebody disrupts something within her, she's going to charge in with her communication. She knows when to
Mhm.
speak,
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just some healing that needs to happen here. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I know it could be misaligned energy from things that she is not willing to heal from.
So
And it's
you,
probably
yeah.
like a father wound
Mhm.
that I know is possibly sitting there, But
Yeah.
you can't tell somebody that. They have to recognize it for themselves.
But
So
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
that's another
So,
component, another conversation in and of itself, especially for single mothers specifically. It's
hmm
hard to get your children to understand why certain dynamics did not work, why you chose yourself. You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? Over
Yeah.
an unhealthy relationship dynamic that they would have to watch. A lot of times children don't understand that. They just know that they want daddy and they want mommy, and they just feel bubbly when they see y'all together, but it feels painful when they see y'all at each other. You see what I'm saying? So they kind of suppress that. They don't say anything about it, and then they grow up and they have a little bit of resentment in their heart because they just didn't understand why. So that's a whole nother thing in and of itself to tap into on a different podcast. But um I
Mhm.
would just say continue to work with her, knowing that she's also on a spiritual journey. And you've done a great job just off the strength that your children know. At least they're exposed to the spiritual pathway so they know what to tap into and how to work on healing themselves when they are ready to do it. So
Yeah.
obviously you've put in the work to make sure that you've laid that foundational work there. So congratulations on that part, because everybody can't say that. You'll be struggling to tell your children, like, nope, that's not the way to go. And they're like, but mommy, you raised me doing this most of the time, and now you want to tell me to go. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
2016, you've been aware. So that's a pretty nice length of time in their rearing, to understand that there is another way.
Thank
So I
you.
hope this helped you some. And of course, like I said, tap in with either myself or Jessica if you want to dive deeper. Okay.
All right, definitely will. I appreciate you,
Okay.
ladies.
All
All right.
right.
Thank
Thank you. Take
you.
care.
Gratitude.
All right. So let's see here. We have Grandma Gwen. Okay. So I'm going to bring her up here. Hello.
Good day. Good day.
How
Good
you
day,
doing?
Shavi. Good day, Jessica. How are you
Hi.
both?
I'm
Hi.
Very
good.
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 Hi, good. Oh my goodness. It's good to be on live with you both. Um what I wanted to say was because I've just started this spiritual journey as well. I'm really, really enjoying healing everything with myself. I'm the generational curse breaker in
Mhm.
my family.
Okay.
I love everything about nature and all of that stuff. But my biggest thing is that when it comes to children, because I came out of Christianity, like I want to say about maybe 16 years ago. I'm 63 years old. So I do consider myself an elder. The thing is that I wanted to make my children know because they're grown. They're grown. Our oldest is 42. And then there's a 38-year-old, 36, and 35. So I think the most important thing is to let them know that they were not born with religion, and they were not born with Christianity. Christianity has really, really hurt our people a lot, and I feel very strongly about that. But my people came from Charleston, South Carolina, so they went to New York, so they basically like ran from a lot of the culture. But I remember a lot of the stuff when I was a kid. I know, that they did, a lot of the things that I have engaged with Shavi and you, Jessica, and everything. I've done a lot of the rituals and stuff like that. And I really, really enjoy them. But I think that it's really, really important that children know that they were told about religion, that they weren't born with it. So I'm at the point where I'm like a lot of my elders are gone. So I'm picking up where they left off pretty much, because I saw the chicken in the tub, and I heard all the stories about, so it's just one of those things where they just need to know that the universe called us and knew that we were something else before we were told that we had to uh, uh, trust Jesus and leave it, to an outside entity,
Mhm.
to heal ourselves. And I've learned that I can heal myself. I used to have dizzy spells. I literally talk myself out of it. I'm learning how to use the water, to speak over the water, and
Yeah.
I love the trees, and I see cardinals, and it's just one of those things. But I think it's important that we let our children know that
Mhm.
we weren't born with this stuff.
Mhm.
We we have to come out of it, because I feel personally, my opinion is that we've been hurt. We've been hurt by that system of control. So
Yeah,
yeah,
without a
that's
doubt. I do want to have a clearer understanding. Are you saying that you didn't rear them up in religion, or was
actually
that just, uh-huh.
actually I
Okay.
did. um we were on the usher board. We were in the dance ministry. I stayed in one church for like 10 years, and when I moved, I followed my husband to North Carolina, so I was in another church, and I was in another church, and after a while, I felt myself like dying in the church, and I kept like, I want to hear something new today. I want to hear something new. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear the same things that I keep hearing. But I had a breakdown in front of my grandchildren, and they were very young, like right on our porch, because they were calling me. And it was, oh, you got to come in for quiet practice, and you got to, we have church this Sunday, and we got to get ready for this, and we got to. And I knew that like my spirit was just fighting against this whole church thing. So
Mhm.
they were in the choir, they were in the usher board, they were, every Sunday. So, and I
So
came
was
out.
this
Hmm.
mhm. Was this until they became adults?
No, actually, yeah, yeah. But let me
Okay.
see. I took them like, let me see. Because once they started to grow up, they went their own way. But I'm pretty sure that our oldest was still in the church at 30, and our youngest, she was still in the church, and now she's in IUIC in New York.
Oh, okay. Okay.
See, so
That's the
yeah, so it's
I
so
yeah, I know about IUIC. So she's on a pathway of discovery. So that's good.
yeah,
Because what's happening is when you go from the religion, the Christian background to anything else outside of that. So right now she's doing a Hebrew Israelite thing. It
yes,
pulls you a little bit further out of the church doors. You see what I'm
hmm,
saying? And
yes,
gets you a little bit closer to identifying with who you are. And at some point, you may find that she's going to navigate out of that as well. It's like it's a expansion that happens. So,
yeah.
mhm.
It's amazing because I mean her dream state is off the chain. Shavi, Jessica is off the chain. I mean, like she tells me, she said, "Mommy, my dreams are coming true. I seen this and I seen that, and I keep telling her because my mother is gone now. She's my ancestor anyway. And I told her, I says, as my mother gave to me, I gave to you. And she says, well, what do you mean by that, mama? But my mama was chosen, and I knew she was chosen even before I heard about being chosen. But I'm feeling like she gave the gift to me and I gave the gift to our youngest daughter. So
Mhm.
just the thing of it is that I mean, I tell her, I haven't told her what I'm doing, because she's like, well, mommy, I don't want to do numerology, and I don't want to do good because this all this stuff is wrapped up in witchcraft and all this. And I'm like, I'm clearly not, you have to understand that these things are used for good and they're used for bad. So my
Mhm.
thing is, I'm on the good side, but I don't want to come out and tell her, well, mommy's an alchemist, you know. And I feel like in a conversation, I'm going to get to that point, because I just feel so strong. And thank you, Shavi. Thank you, Jessica. I just feel just so strong with speaking my truth, and
Yes.
and I'm grateful to the Most High Mother and Father, Creator of all natural things, and I just give honor to all of the elements, and I love the trees, and just but I just feel like one day it's just gonna slip out. And I was talking to our oldest daughter the other day, and I was getting on her case about something. And I told her, I said, I'm not the same mommy that you knew, back when I'm a lot stronger now. So I
Mhm.
don't know if that's relevant, but I feel like just coming out of, you know, Christianity, just coming out of, going within to myself and stuff. It's a wonderful journey, and I'm really, really glad about the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's what you just mentioned was a very important point as far as not being the same mother that they
Yeah,
was used to, especially when you was more deeply embedded in Christianity.
yeah,
You find that the woman that you're projecting or the mother that you are to them now is far stronger. You're
yes,
happier, your energy is lighter, your vibrations are, you see what I'm saying? And it's
yeah,
like all they can do, this is the outside of talking and telling them like, okay, this is what you need to know. It's all about just expression, just being
yeah,
present. They
yes,
will be able to see a stark difference. They'll be able to contrast between who you were most of their life to who you are now. And that is like a real identifier of which one, you know what I'm saying, which side of the
yes,
fence really
yes,
grows a person and aligns you with the
yes,
most high. In the
yes,
past, you said it had you so tired and exhausted that you broke down. So
yes,
obviously it was a weight that was getting heavier and heavier over years. So they saw a different version of you that was not as light. It
right,
wasn't as high vibrational. So sometimes, especially with children who are adults, I don't know about that just yet, but I can only speak from what I assume. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Is
yeah,
that it's going to be hard to get that imprint of religion out. Is something that they have to work their way through, but
hmm,
because you are showing them the contrast between who you are today versus who you were when you was raising them, that
yes,
is the perfect example to make them
yes,
want to say maybe mama is onto something. And then as
yeah,
far as the alchemist, you were saying you don't know if you want to tell her about that directly just yet. Just consider you got
yeah,
to spoon feed it to her in a way where it's like, oh, that coffee you so look at you doing your little alchemy, putting in that cream and sugar. Because it's alchemy in every doggone thing. You see what I'm saying? So if
absolutely,
you introduce it from that angle, then she'll start to see, like, oh, so I've been doing alchemy. But you mean
yeah,
to tell me, oh, since I've been doing it, I just need to be more intentional with it since I'm doing it anyway.
yes, yes,
You see what I'm saying? Drinking a glass
mhm,
of water is alchemy. What are you thinking about while you're drinking it? Let's be more
Yeah.
intentional here.
Okay.
So then that'll
absolutely,
help her to see, like, oh, it's not wicked. It's all
right,
about the intention. What are my
yeah,
Right.
intentions behind the alchemy that I'm doing? So
yes,
I would
yes,
Mm-hmm.
just say introduce it from that angle,
yeah,
because
mhm,
with the Hebrew Israelite, gosh, it's one of those things where they're going to say the same thing over and over and over again. And they
yep,
are very fixed on making sure that the message is in sync,
yes,
especially groups such as IUIC and things of that nature. You're
yes,
going to hear the same thing on every corner. When I was practicing, I could tell you verbatim
uh-huh,
everything that they was going to say.
hmm,
Okay.
yeah,
That's right. Okay. So for those of you that know, you know out there, y'all probably like, what the hell should I be talking about? That's what they do. Okay. So I would just say let her navigate through that pathway And
Yes.
eventually, if she continues to grow and expand, she's going to grow out
Yes.
of it, and where she starts to realize it's too restricting. Why am I feeling so
Yes.
restricted? And she's going to break
Yes.
through. Okay.
Yes.
So let me see. Did
Absolutely.
you have anything you wanted to add, Jessica?
Well, I did want to. I wanted to say, as you were talking, my spiritual team said Ace of Pentacles. You were able to tap into the Ace of Pentacles, and
Okay.
so when this deck is called the Chosen Journey by the Fly
Mm-hmm.
Empress.
Mm-hmm.
The card that was at the top of the deck was the Ace of Earth, the Ace of Pentacles.
Okay.
So this is abundant stability, solid offers. I'm just reading the card.
Okay.
Here, new job, career, business, promotion, manifestation, fruition, prosperity, material gains. But see,
Oh.
in reverse,
Oh.
it's lack of growth. This is where you came from: lack of growth,
Mm-hmm.
instability,
Yeah.
poor, scarcity mindset, insecurities,
Yes.
greed, broke, struggle, delays, lack of opportunities.
Yeah.
See, this is where most of the melanated beings are. But
Mm-hmm.
when you tap into your spiritual path
Mm-hmm.
and you connect with your ancestors, because
Mm-hmm.
those are ones, the ancestors are the ones on the front line. You know, it's a
Yeah.
chain of command, just like the military. Our
Mm-hmm.
ancestors are on the front line, but when you sit with yourself, because it starts with yourself
Yes.
first. And see,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you did, and you obtained the Ace of Pentacles. So it's a new beginning for you. So what trickles onto you, what you open up energetically through the Ace of Pentacles,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even worry about, my kids, because you're the example. Your energy, your light,
Yeah.
everything. It's just it's shining. But I do want to I want to see what angel number card will come out for you.
Oh, wow.
Let's
Wow.
see.
Oh my goodness. This is just so exciting. Y'all please I mean, my heart is racing right now. I mean, it's just
Oh, I love the energy. That's why I'm
yeah,
smiling.
and
I love
I feel
good.
so free. I've never felt so free in all of my life. Yes. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Let me be quiet. Go ahead.
So you got the 222. So it says trust the fall. Your angels ask you to trust your place in life right now. You are in the right place at the right time. It's time to take a look around and enjoy the moment.
Mhm.
Everything is where it's supposed to be. Think of one thing you need to let go of so you can enjoy the moment. Give that thing gratitude, then send it off into the universe. Picture it evaporating into thin air. That's a ritual right there that you could do. You know,
Okay.
um,
Okay. Uh-huh.
picture it evaporating into thin air, and understand that it's no longer something you need to concern yourself with. So, I feel like this is where you are. Trust in the fall.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know,
Trust in the fall.
and it
Okay.
Yeah.
looking to the number two.
The number two.
Yeah, the
And that the number
I'm sorry.
two is balance. Is
Yeah,
it
Yeah.
duality.
Hmm.
duality?
Balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also the high priestess in the tarot deck.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it could very well be that you're being called to tap into your gifts, and really align yourself with your purpose. Because I was going to say, did you have anything else you wanted to add, Jessica?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay,
That was
I
it.
was going to say, as far as like with the adult children, we got to also accept that some might not take the path. Some may
Yeah.
reject the spiritual path.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? As much as
Mhm.
we want all of them to align with something that's going to allow them to expand and grow, some may reject it because
Mhm.
they can get very fixed on what they're used to, their comfort zone.
Mhm.
But the beautiful thing about what you're doing is you're leaving a footprint in the sand
Okay.
for
Yeah.
your
Hmm.
grandchildren, great grandchildren. It's
Mhm.
not, they won't be so far removed from their origin. Because I think that's been a issue for a lot of our generation now, is that if we think about grandma, grandpa, great
Yeah.
grandma, great grandpa, they was
Yes.
heavily under the indoctrination of
Yes.
certain traditional belief systems. So we can't really find that reference like right there that says,
Yes.
oh, this ritual, or tap in with the ancestors because this is what grandma did or grandpa did. But
Right.
you're right here in the age of Aquarius. So your grandchildren, they can reach right back to grandma, like, oh, she was on it. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And these are the age of Aquarius children, the
Yes.
Aquarian
Yes.
children. So
Hmm.
what you're doing is very powerful. Everything you're doing is perfectly aligned. That's why even with Jessica's cards, it's like, go with the flow of where you are right now. Stay in the moment.
Mhm.
Try not to
Yeah.
be overly fixated on are they going to get there, or
Yeah.
maybe the past energy of where you're coming from, but just like
Mhm.
right now, you're doing exactly what you need to be doing.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just I'm just really really glad. I know that as Jessica was saying that it is something I need to let go. I'm always in between a rock and a hard place, and I'm a caregiver too, and that's another thing that just weighs. It really weighs, but I just try to help, and I'm just in the middle. I never I'm the middle child. I never did like being in the middle, but
Yeah.
but something I need to let go. And
Mhm.
every single message that I've watched with you, Shavi, is always you need to let go. So
Okay. Okay. So you're aware of what thing is that you need to let go of. You know what that is.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and y'all can see, so I know y'all probably know what it is too.
Yeah. Yeah. So just consider, a lot of times, as long as you're doing the spiritual work,
Hmm.
it prepares you for the practical step.
Right.
So if you know, okay, I'm having a hard time letting go, it's tap in and find out why. Is it a fear of letting someone down? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it fear of being abandoned or fear of leaving someone feeling abandoned? Is it
Yeah.
codependency? Being
Yeah.
codependent on being needed by someone, or
Hmm.
actually being codependent on someone. Like, you really just want to identify it, put a description on it. That
Yes.
way you can do your burn and release and tap in and say, okay, I destroy and clear this emotion, that emotion that's preventing me from letting go of this thing that no longer serves me, to move
Right.
towards those things that do. So
Yes.
just keep doing your spiritual work. And you're going to find that sometimes your spiritual team might even say, you don't really have to do anything. You already told us what you want, but just prepare, because we're going to bring a tower over here.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
All
And
right.
it's going to shake
Okay.
some things up. And you might be like, well, what the heck is going on? But remember, this is all about alignment. You see what I'm saying? So just continue
Mhm.
to do the spiritual work, and it's
Okay.
going to align you exactly the way that where you need to be when you need to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so very much. Peace be unto you both. Peace be unto you, Shavi. Peace be unto
Thank you
you,
so much.
Jessica.
Thank you,
Thank
Gwen.
you all so much.
Can
It's
I
just
let
Mhm.
me
like,
say this to you right quick? I just heard it, so I'm finna speak it to you.
mhm.
Face your fear with faith.
Okay.
So face your
Okay.
fear with faith.
Okay. Okay.
And I think you said you did water rituals or something like that, right?
Well,
So
I'm learning to speak over the water when I'm in the
mhm,
shower, when I'm taking a salt bath. I've learned how to speak over
okay.
the yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah, keep doing that. And I'm gonna tell you, pour it at the root of a tree. I don't know if you do that. Whatever you speak, pour it at the
Hmm.
root of a tree.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you
And
all.
I
Especially
shift
because you love
dimensional
the
thinking.
trees. I love the
Yeah.
trees too. So
I love the
yeah,
trees. I name the trees. I
okay.
named them. I literally just asked them what do they want, and I just put my hand on it, and I'm like, and they let me know what they want to be called, and it's just so cool.
Aw,
Yeah, I like to
yeah.
think that's our ancestors. I really do feel that's the
Mhm,
essence of our ancestors, just surrounding us. Like, we're
mhm.
right here. We've been right here, and it's we deep too. Like,
Yeah.
it's like that.
Yes,
So get back to your roots. That's what they're reminding us of every time we connect with the trees. But I'm glad you came on,
absolutely.
Gwen, and I hope this brought you some clarity. You take good care of yourself.
Thank you. Mwah.
All right then.
Okay.
Let's see. So we have a few more people here. Let's see. Queendom. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Queendom.
Hey.
Let's see. She's on mute. You got to
Mhm.
take yourself off of mute.
Hello. Oh my goodness. I am
Hi.
on. Hi.
All right. How you doing?
All right. And you? And
Very
you, Miss
good.
Jessica?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
All right. So let's jump in. So how many children do you have?
I have three boys. and they are all 9.5 years apart. So my oldest just turned 20 on November the 15th. He's a Scorpio, and I have 11-year old and a 2-year old.
Okay.
And they
That's
are all
wonderful.
9.5 years apart. So I just wanted to know, I'm very spiritual myself, and I just wanted to know, like, and I've been on this journey, so I've been raising my boys that way. Um, but I just wanted to always wonder, what did the 9.5 mean? Like, it's almost like to the date, like 2005, 2014, and then 2023. So
Okay.
Let me
I know
see.
you caught most of what she was saying. I'm sorry, I had to close the door. Um, you have three children. That's the number of the night, it seems like. 9.5 years apart. Um, and I'm sorry, can you tell me what was your question again? And Jessica,
I
I'm
was just
definitely gonna let you jump in.
more in depth on the nine and a half years. Like, what could that mean? Just me as a, because I've been on my spiritual journey for probably since my oldest was little, so I'm not new to this at all. I'm actually, kind of out of this world, but um, they know I'm a Taurus, so I'm very boisterous. Like, they know how I feel. I express, you know, um, what's really going on. I've never been the parent to hide or to, we don't really do this too much of the celebration of the holidays and stuff like that, because we understand all that what's going on. So I'm just trying to really do the work, and just uh see what did that mean for me to have three boys 9.5 years apart. It's like my biological clock this says, okay, it's time. I avoided all those years three
Yeah,
times, but so yeah.
yeah. Intuitively, I'm just kind of picking up. You were supposed to instill a certain amount of wisdom in each child for a certain period of time. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like they needed your undivided attention for a certain period of time up until 9.5 years old, it sounds like, right?
Oh,
For each one. So by
okay.
the time you got to the second one, the eldest was 18, right?
But by the time I got to the third one,
Let me see. By the time you got to the third one,
the
so
oldest was, yeah, and the second one was 9. Like, my oldest
okay,
was
so
9.
9. Yeah,
Yeah.
so because even with the 9-year-old, there's a certain level of independence that they're able to practice,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, versus that newborn baby. That 9-year-old was already instilled with those, important
Right.
years, 0 to 7, you was able to teach them certain things
Mhm.
and then kind of moving them out the way. So I'm seeing the hermit because that's the number 9 in the tarot deck. So it's like, okay, maybe you needed more time and space to turn inward to gain your wisdom, to find yourself in between each child, but also being able to instill that wisdom in each one of those children over that 9-year span. So it's something to consider, but go ahead, Jessica, you want to jump in?
Girl, I want to say that 9, it kind of reminds me of Scorpio energy. Um, so endings, you had to deal with a lot of like sharp endings. You was dealing with you gotten some lessons that brought about revelation.
Right.
Uh, a lot of times when you felt lost, confused, stuck, you was in despair.
Mhm.
Um, this is just random intense moments. So this came out third, Dark Night of the Soul energy, but the Ten of Swords came out first, and then when I
Mhm.
noticed it, I had the King of Wands behind it. So you went through this energy where you feel like it almost took you up out of here. You know what I'm saying? To pour that knowledge and the wisdom, the knowledge, the truth, because this is the
Mhm.
Ten of Swords, into your sons, because you're raising kings who are called to be leaders in the community. Um, let me see. Let me clarify this King of Wands energy. I keep getting two cards. I got the Knight of Cups. Um, So this is earth energy. So I feel like with the King of Wands energy and the Knight of Cups, I feel like you may feel, do you communicate with your kids and you feel like they take in what you say um
Mm.
to where you can see the fruit?
Well, my
What?
oldest, yes, I definitely have. He's I've never been a parent of a 20-year-old before, so it's
Mhm.
new territory for us all, me and him. And so yes, it is some bumping of the heads, and
Yeah.
it's like the more you say something and try to get it into them, the more they do the opposite. So or what they want to
And I
do.
was just gonna say, so with that being said, because I did get the Nine of Wands with the Knight of Cups energy, just know that they hear you. And when I was in church, I used to say, you got to give your kids time to get their testimony together. You know what I'm saying? But they hear you. They
Okay.
hear you. But they just got to get bruised up a little bit. That's what our
Oh.
nines for. It got to be intense because they have to feel it. That's how they
Mm-hmm.
get their understanding. So it's gonna
Yep.
feel like just, they didn't see you go through it.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to get their own understanding. But they're gonna be some leaders in the
Oh
community.
wow.
So,
Mhm.
Mm.
just stand firm, stay on your
Because
path,
that's
and stay
kind of like
encouraged.
I'm working on it. Like I really like I'm just like no nonsense when it comes to like I'm like no, boys don't do this, or men should be this way, or just try to help them. They all have their they since they're so far apart, they all have their own fathers.
Mhm.
So my oldest two, my 20-year-old and my 11-year-old, they are their dad's only children. So by them being so far apart, they pretty much was raised the only children. And then my 2-year-old, he's the baby. His dad has two boys that's like 17 and 18. So it's like he's
Okay.
raised. So I kind of like got three only children. I tell people
Yeah.
like, how do you get three
Mhm.
only children? But it's kind of like that. So they have their
It
dads,
was
but I just
men.
want to make sure I do my part. Yeah.
It was men. Not just. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know. Are you into astrology?
Yeah.
Or numerology? The 12th house. Um, Look into the 12th house. See what is hidden and what the karma is there.
Okay.
Look and see what zodiac sign is there in the energy that they have to rise into. Because the 12th house is the house of hidden things. So look and see what's hidden there. And Google it if you're not that informed.
Mhm.
um Use Gemini. I think the app Gemini is good
Okay.
with explaining the 12th house.
So could me
Or
find it, because I recently found my dad at like I was like 30. I'm 39 now, so I was like 36 years old. 36. Yeah, something like that. So could that have something to do with, I don't know, maybe having all the boys, or maybe the karma with the men, or I don't know. Like, could that have anything to do with anything?
I do know
Nope.
36 is the number 9.
It is.
So
I
that's
I
a
noticed that. Yeah.
strong
Yeah.
no, let me see. I'm gonna pull a angel number card to see.
Yeah.
And when you say you found your father, that means you had never met him before 36, you're saying?
Yes,
Taurus.
ma'am. I never knew who he was. About family members and people will always say, "Well, it was this man." I went through like several DNA tests with different men. My mom had me early, at a young age, and so, but yeah, I did like an ancestry DNA test, and my uncle, his half brother, was on it, and we connected like that. And I mean, I forgave him. Like I don't have any feelings in my heart. I think I'm too grown and old for that. But like I just, oh my God, my battery is at 9%. I
Okay.
cannot make this up. Wow.
Oh, you said it's okay,
No, I'm
right.
just saying it's at 9%. It's like,
Yeah, that's interesting because it's hard to see the number 9, but if you start seeing it on license plates, billboards, phone numbers, obviously it's something there with that number 9. But
yeah.
go ahead, Jessica, because I'm gonna pull some cards too, just to tap in.
Okay. So I got 3 cards, but my aim was one. But I'm gonna tell you, I got discipline, and it says practice self control. So I want to say all this 9 energy was for you to create like a balance, like within yourself. It says your angels are asking you to demonstrate self control. Your discipline will become stronger the more you use it. Take a step today to start a good habit or stop a bad one based on what you know to be difficult yet necessary for your growth. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Trade that soda for water, or make sure
Mm.
you carve out the time to get your meditation in today. And see, that's what I was saying. This number 9 energy is like a tough path where it says take the water instead of soda.
It's
It wouldn't
water.
make, yeah.
I already know
And
what it.
that's when things happen, like with this 1111, things happen for you to pause and to think so you can hit a reset button. It's like death, rebirth. Death, rebirth. You dealt with a lot of endings that created new beginnings, but your endings was so dramatic. Like when you said you was 36, um, when you met your father, that was an intense moment, you know, and a needed one. So
Mhm.
it was just discipline. And you a Taurus, right?
Right.
This was your focus. This was your purpose.
Yeah. And I mean, considering raising 3 boys, it kinda helped you to kinda see your father from various stages.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? In your sons, that way by
Mhm.
the time you got to meet him at 36, you wouldn't have much malice in your heart. You see what I'm saying? Subconsciously, you had already raised him 3
Mhm.
times. You see what I'm saying? It's like if you look at it
Yeah.
from a spiritual angle. But let me just see as far as what is the significance of damn. Okay. So we have the devil coming through here. I'm thinking you must have to clear some generational patterns on your father's side of the family on behalf of your sons. Like it's meant for you as the matriarch in the family to clear some patterns when it comes to the men. You see what I'm saying? In your bloodline. Do you know if there was any addictive patterns or anything that was going on with your father or on his side of the family?
Mm-mm. Well, I know he dealt with a lot of trauma, childhood trauma. I think maybe his mom might have, you know, he said she left him on the doorstep at his dad's house. So I don't, I don't,
Okay.
he had his own trauma, and but I did have a cousin. Well, he was a young man. He was about 18, I want to say, and he committed suicide. And so I did feel very moved to like have like a gun training class or like something for the males in our family. But my family is so Christian that they can't. It's almost like if you know the kids are gonna have carry guns or have a gun access to them, let's educate them on how the correct way to use them, and let's give them the knowledge they need instead of just allowing them to have them and without really knowing what to do with in the proper training.
So there's
Mhm.
something in your spirit that pulls you to really want to rear up the boys
Mhm.
and prepare them from a different angle. It's something about that. So I would strongly suggest that you really tap in. Are you still close with your father now?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, so then you can
Yeah, very
communicate with
close.
him a little bit more as far as like generational patterns and things that he might have noticed. Maybe even asking them specifically about the men in the family, like what traits
Okay.
that they typically display. That way, you're preparing your sons for something. Like Jessica said, they're lead. Did you pull the King of Wands for them?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, natural leaders. So you're preparing them to lead in a different way. So I feel like, yeah, that's the significance of that is to really address whatever this energy is. And your father is a necessary component in gaining that information.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate
All right, you're
Mhm.
welcome. Take care of
it.
yourself.
All
Yeah.
right. Thanks, Olga.
All right. So let's see here. We have Lucy Lou.
Lucy
Hey,
Lou.
Lucy
Hey,
Lou.
Hey, Lucy
how's
Lou.
it going?
It's been a while since I've seen you, lady.
I know, I know. Time's been moving.
Yeah, how you been?
I've been all right, and the lucky number tonight is three. I don't have too much significance of three, but I have four kids. One lived with his father, so I do take care of three. Um, I'm a
What are their ages?
Gemini. Ages. My oldest is 13. My daughter is 6. My oldest is a boy. My daughter is 6. My son is 4, and then my daughter is 1. She'll be 2 the day after Christmas.
Oh, you're busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, mm,
And I am a Gemini. June 15th. I don't know the time I was born. I think I was born over water. My mom tell me I was born in Guantanamo Bay, but I don't believe her. There's a lot of secrets in our family. You've read me before. Um, the generational curses on my dad's side is a lot of jealousy and anger and the Jezebel spirit. On my mother's side, it's a lot of partnership, like building partnerships and foundation, and wealth issues. But I have been married for 11 years now. Um, we have 3 kids together. Um, um, the Scorpio, which was very interesting. The Was it Grandma V? She said her birthday was 10/23. That's my husband's birthday. He's also on the cusp. He's a Scorpio Libra. Um, Another thing, her daughter was a Gemini as well, and a lot of things that she was saying kind of related to me. I think she feels like her daughter, that is, feels like she can't have a conversation with her because she's so overly aggressive. It kind of overshadows her own feelings, so she don't really have a voice. And the fact that she didn't have a voice in her own home, she don't feel like she has a place in the world to have a voice. So that's kind of what her daughter is struggling with, and I'm kind of having the same issue with my own daughter. So I just wanted to let her know that.
okay,
So
yeah.
I
I mean,
have
I
that like
definitely
prominent
appreciate the feedback.
energy.
Yeah, from different angles, everybody has something to add to other people, as far as parenting and things. So that's good advice. But I do want to ask you, you mentioned a few of the generational curses. Do you find that you've been able to break that cycle, or do you feel like there's certain things that's kind of trickling down as far as your household as a parent, parenting 4 children?
Okay, a lot like my mother. Very, very dominant, even as like in a relationship. Even though my husband is military, top top sergeant, all of that. He's a lot older than me. As we've talked, my husband is 60. I'm 33, so I'm at the number 3. I am 33. So I I would say wealth, like I guess keeping wealth, but like we run through money. Like we did buy a house 2 years ago. We are well off, I should say, to be in the position that we're in. I want to say, because we're both not actively working, but we own our own businesses in different
Okay.
ways. So yeah, um, so and the foundation, I would say a little was a little rocky from both of our, I guess, side. So we don't really have that much support on either side of our family.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But you find that for the most part, y'all have been able to break particular cycles that you had
Oh yeah.
mentioned on your mother's
Yeah.
and father's side. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. So how have you been able to manage as a mother of 4? Obviously, you have your support system with your husband there. Um, do you have any tips that you want to bring in, for other mothers as far as rearing their children up in a spiritual pathway?
Um, it's hard. It's extremely hard. I sense I don't see. I'm raising all of my kids see and feel, and they'll tell me, and I would have to sometimes go up to my daughter and be like, "Is there something here? I need to do something and cleanse and certain things." But sometimes I have to go to my kids, or I have to tell my husband to do certain things, and sometimes that would make me feel a little insecure about how strong I know I am. I think we had this conversation where I did tell you on several different instances that I know that I have the capability to just talk over people.
Hmm.
But as far as like the visuals, or should I say like my crown chakra, I won't assume that it will be blocked.
You feel like it's blocked.
Yeah.
Okay, because that deals with your receptivity, being able to receive direct messages. It also deals with your faith, things of that nature. So you feel like that's blocked, your receptivity to messages and
Yeah.
being tapped in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
but I do like that you mentioned, if I heard you correctly, it sounds like you said you refer to your children as far as what you're not seeing, what you're missing. Did I hear
Yeah.
that right? Like you might
Yeah.
go to
My
your daughter.
kids are very, very insightful on a lot of things. Like I go to my kids and ask them random questions. My daughter's the 6-year-old. Oh, she's so much like me. Um, I battle with belief. I was raised in church, Roman Catholic. I went to Baptist school. But the more I got older, I've been in my spiritual path for about 9 years now. So my daughter, when I was in the living room one day, she was like, "Oh, I just had a conversation with Jesus." And I was like, "What did he look like?" And he was like, "He looked like me and you." I said, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Our color." And I was like, "Okay. And did he tell you his name was Jesus?" And then she was like, "Yeah, he told me his name was Jesus." So, uh, on certain things like that, it's like, what do you believe and what do you don't, So I do battle with faith in that way. But I would say, as far as like, a lot of people come to me as far as what I know and what I stand on, as far as like what I have learned through my own journey and what I've saw, what I've done, things like that.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think that's something to consider because children, they're very receptive. So if you feel like your crown is blocked, likely their crown is not blocked. You see what I'm saying? So if you feel like you're having a hard time receiving certain messages or tapping in, then it is good to refer to your children who don't have so many barriers around them,
Mhm.
because of traumas and things like that. So I think that's a good way to start. But let me see. What do you have, Jessica? I think we should pull some cards then, just to give
I
you a
was
little
gonna
bit of
say,
something to take you, to take away with.
what I learned with my with my first son, because uh he's way older than my other kids. He's 22. He was born in Libra energy, right? And I'm Aquarius. So we both have one thing in common, and that's the planet Saturn. Lessons. Uh so I would say what he taught me, what I noticed. Because one thing about a Libra, respect and truth, okay, um, and bringing about balance. That's what they care about. But that's the energy he was born into. But when I had him, because I was with his dad was I was choosing his dad, but his dad was choosing everybody else. So when I had my
Mm.
Libra, one thing about a Libra, you're gonna give them the respect, regardless of if they deserve it or not.
Right.
Because
Right.
Libras, they know they ain't worthy of what they asking for. They just want it just because they in that
I asked
energy.
for it. Right. Right.
Yeah. They got that polar opposite Aries energy. So what I had to realize with him, I had to choose me. That's what the Libra taught me. Choosing
Mhm.
myself. So your kids, they teach you, where you need to be. So I think that's what you was pretty much saying, basically, right? When you were saying you you watch your kids, or you learn from your children,
Yeah, I asked them
pretty much.
questions. I
Yeah.
ask
So
them, yeah, I talk to them and I ask them questions. Yeah, they
yeah,
do educate me a lot.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I just
Well,
wanted to
let's see
put that out.
what can you just, focus on aligning, even further. So we have the moon here. Okay.
On my emotions, I'm all over the place.
Emotions, maybe certain fears that might be suppressed, but also the hidden things, the things that is more comfortable having it kind of tucked away, whether it's tucked away from yourself or just within the family dynamics itself. But the moon, considering this does connect with the mother too. So I don't
Mhm.
know if it could be directly connected to your relationship with your mom. You see what I'm saying?
I
But
mean,
this is
our relationship is okay.
okay. So then this is just more things that's hidden then. Unless it's certain things that maybe your mom suppressed.
She do.
And
That's what I just said in the beginning. There's a lot of secrets in the family, especially on my mom's side.
oh, I see. Okay, okay. So just avoiding this, because I'm just trying to see what can you work on. Because it sounds like, based on what you're saying, things are pretty aligned for you, right? You feel pretty
Yeah.
comfortable where you are.
Yeah.
So avoiding that secrecy, being more vocal about things, speaking direct. And it sounds like you're giving your children a voice by asking them how they feel, what they think. But you've already mentioned that sometimes you have a tendency to overtalk. And I'm wondering, sometimes when we do that, it's because we fear not being heard or misunderstood, or somebody didn't give us that, you know, put us in that position to be able to express ourselves at an earlier age.
Yeah.
So you just want to consider diving a little bit deeper to see what's hidden. Let me see, I'll take one more. So we have the Seven of Pentacles in a reverse. Sometimes this can be work without reward, but maybe in this case, it's like, okay, if you find that you have been focused on doing something a particular way, if it's not giving you the results, the tangible evidence, you want to consider just, tossing that. It's no longer worth putting your focus and your energy into. Because I know you kind of mentioned that you find yourself a little bit at a crossroads here when it comes to the spiritual pathway versus religion. Is that what you said? Or do you feel
It's
like you
That's in a lot of ways. That statement is in a lot of ways right now in my life. So you're on the. I'm listening. The
okay?
statement goes in a lot of different aspects of my life right now. So it could be me gardening because I got chickens that keep eating up everything, and I haven't putting up this chicken coop. I got some
Mhm.
court cases that might not be fruitful. I might just need to let it go. I mean, it's a couple things that you're talking about right now. So I don't know what you actually saying. So
Yeah, but just consider everything that we do in a 3D has a spiritual reflection. So if we're talking about your role as a mother, just consider they're watching you and they're watching to see what does mommy put most of her effort and time and energy into? Because it kind of subconsciously plants within them like, well, I'll just keep going. I'll keep nurturing this thing that's not nurturing me. It's not feeding me. It's not giving back to me, but I'm going to keep, trying, but it could be causing a certain level of stress that you might not be verbalizing. Because if you got court cases open everywhere, I know that's stressful. Just the process in
Mhm.
and of itself is stressful. So just consider it could be an energy that's being projected that says, I'm going to keep knocking at a door that's not opening for a reason. You see what I'm saying? So you just want to look at it from a spiritual perspective so that you're not teaching them to keep knocking at doors that's not meant to open for them.
okay.
Look at it from a spiritual perspective. I'm not trying to get too personal and detailed in your specific circumstances, but I'm just saying as a whole, as a mother, because that's the subject.
No, no, no. I got you. I got what you're
Okay.
saying. Okay.
All right. So yeah, that's what I have here. Jessica, did you want to add anything before we close here?
Well, yeah, you said something about secrets. When I flipped the chosen deck over, that was at the bottom of the deck. But the first card that came out for you was the Emperor card. Um, then I got the eyes of the court to clarify. The Emperor.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say this though, and then the Empress came out as well, with the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. I
Okay.
feel like, oh, let me. I'm gonna go ahead and read this card. Big decision. So there's a decision that you have to make. You probably know it's something that you know that you have to do. Let me see. The choice you need to make presently has already been decided in your heart. Okay, your angels validate that you know what to do. Looking within is the only work that is left. Right now, ask your angels to reveal the answers to the big question in your life as you sit quietly in meditation. Allow that answer to find you. But I want to say, as that someone who sits in possibly masculine energy, you are called to witness a lot. Not necessarily maybe just, it's almost like knowing when to hold them and when to fold them. Because that's one thing about the Empress. She knows when to move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, conserve your energy. Know what you know, what's wasteful and what's not. You know, just finding that balance. And I want to say with this, it's something with this, the secrets here. See, you got Aquarius here. We're in the age of Aquarius. There's a truth that you're going to be called to speak out on or expose and unmask in your family. I don't know if you know what's hidden,
I
but
don't.
something's about to be revealed. But when it does,
Mm.
it's going to kick you in because you see a lot of things. You got the eyes of the court here. And it's like you putting the what's your zodiac sign again?
I'm a Gemini.
Gemini. And it's like, and see, one thing about a Gemini, they live in their head. You know,
Mhm.
Sagittarius, that back energy. You know, this is you drawing the dots, trying to connect the dots. But something's gonna go, and you're gonna. It's like a secret is going to be revealed, and it's going to be intuitively. Once you get to yourself, and you know you sit to yourself, and you're balanced. You know that truth is going to come to you, and it's going to be something that's meant for you to speak and expose in this age of Aquarius because it's something that your bloodline needs.
Okay.
Yeah. And when
Mhm.
you speak it, you're going to be respected because this is the emperor's energy. They ain't gonna do nothing but respect it. So no fear, no heat, no pressure.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
Thank you
right. Thank
guys
you, Miss
so
Blue. I
much.
appreciate you coming on. It's good seeing you again. You take good care, okay?
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. You guys have a good
Oh,
night.
you too. All right, let's see. So we have two more people here. So I have Jessica. Okay.
Hey,
Hey,
Jessica
Jessica.
with a
Hi,
K.
Jessica. I'm an
Hi.
Aquarius. Too.
Okay.
All right.
Aquarius gang.
So the topic about spirituality and motherhood, I've been desiring to be a mom for the longest time. I feel like the biological clock is a real phenomenon, and it really hit me when I hit 30, and it started getting worse once I hit 35. And now that I'm over 35, not 40 yet, but still, I thought my life would be at a different place now, and I would have my children and, a husband, because I've had dreams. I've had dreams that, I was a mom, right? And I would see the baby, and I'm looking at the baby. But there was also times when I had dreams, and I was a single mom. But there's also, this is recent, but I've also had dreams where I was with a man. I had the support that I ideally would prefer, and we were looking at a child together, looking at a baby together. I'm at a stage. My questions. I'm at a stage right now in my life where I've dated a lot, and I can't wait. So I'm trying to discover if sperm donation would be an option for me, because I can't sit here and wait for someone. I tried. I've tried dating. I've settled
Hmm.
bad relationships. I'm paying attention to the signs, synchronicity, like this is gonna work out, and it's still not working out. And I've had patience. I trust me, I have. I've had so much patience. So now again, I'm at this place of really desiring motherhood where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go the sperm donor route. So it's okay. It's okay to be a single mom by choice. Is it my preference? Is it my choice? My first choice? No. But I can't wait for a man a relationship to, flourish at this time when I've tried so much and it's just a closed door. It's just stagnant, So that's what I had for today.
Okay. Yeah, I know that can be tough.
Yeah.
And considering you want to tap in and see, because there's so many different ways to mother. You just want to really turn inward and see, are you desiring to nurture someone? Are you desiring to show someone a better way? Or is it something where you feel like you need to carry on your offspring through your lineage? Is it more important that the child it comes from you? Or are you just feeling like you want to take care of someone? Like you want to be able to share your love with someone and to take care of them? Which
It's actually,
space is it coming from?
it's actually both. I want to continue my lineage, and I also know that I have the tools. I've been through so much in life where I have the tools and the emotional capacity, the spiritual capacity to nurture a child the way I should have been nurtured, growing up. And again, the lineage, my family, my sister has a whole bunch of kids, and I just never thought I would be the odd one out at this age. Waited, for something to happen, and it didn't happen. It's taken long.
Do you have a lot of pressure around you from family? Are they asking you often, like, when are you going to have children? Or are you
No,
more so pressuring yourself?
I think it's more so pressure in myself. I'm not really close. I'm not close to my family. So it's
Okay.
really pressure of myself, and maybe slightly I am comparing myself to other people who are like, they have children, and even if they're single mothers, not by choice, they still have what I see as wealth. When I see children, I think of wealth. That represents wealth to me.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me see. I'll pull some cards. Let's just tap in. Let's see what's going on. If you want to also know, is sperm donation an option? Which obviously it is, right? You know that it is an option, but are you concerned that it may not work? Is that your question? Or
My concern is that on a spiritual level, is it aligned for me? Because I'm an Aquarius. I'm thinking about everything. I'm thinking about, is the sperm donor, how is his spirit? How is his
oh, I
lineage?
see.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that. But I'm also still hoping, like, okay, maybe I will find someone. Maybe I will find someone magically, but I also don't want to live in denial, and be delusional, hoping that would happen, and then losing my, window to have children and then regretting it.
Let's see. So I'm starting off with the Nine of Cups in the reverse, okay? It's showing that yes, you've had a lot of disappointments. Have you ever been pregnant before?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you froze. You said yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like some of your regrets comes through that pregnancy not coming through to fruition, or feeling like maybe you should have done something differently.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to first start off with forgiving yourself. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because there might be some guilt, maybe some shame, or I don't know how to identify that emotion, but it's creating an internal dissatisfaction. So what you're projecting out into the universe is like an internal sadness.
Yeah.
Just, you see what I'm saying? And so of course, consider where magnetizing, calling in your divine partner, because you don't want to look for the masculine. The masculine is meant to take action towards the empress. That's why she sits on the throne with her pillow behind her back, and he comes to her. So consider that the frequency that you're projecting is one of dissatisfaction, sadness, and maybe some regret. Because even in this card, you can see there's babies down here, right?
Mhm.
But it came out in the reverse. So it's just showing that when you get into your connections or when you date, is there like a rush factor? Do you feel like, hey, what are we doing here? Are you
That is me.
projecting that energy?
I feel like I don't. Maybe I'm projecting it, but not intentionally. But I know I can be that way because I'm over 35. I'm not. I don't have time to play. Let's
Mhm.
get the ball rolling. I'm not gonna sit here and allow somebody to waste any of my time. I was in a relationship where I thought that things were moving, and it didn't, and it ended up failing. And I just like that I lost utility time in that relationship. That's how I see it.
Mhm. Yeah, so let me see. I'm gonna take another one. So you have the Four of Wands in a reverse. I feel like you want to turn inward first before you
Mm.
even consider going and potentially, doing the sperm donation if that's a route that you choose to take. Consider doing the inner work first because we nurture the seed. We create the environment for it. So regardless of what type of seed it is, our womb and the climate of our womb, the atmosphere, spiritually, physically, emotionally, all of that matters. And that's going to be what ultimately determines what springs forth from your womb. You see what I'm saying? So I do feel like there's some foundational work that needs to be done here. Are you consistent with doing your spiritual work and diving deep to see what's happening with you?
I feel like I did it, but maybe I have to do some more because healing is never ending. So maybe there's some more stuff I have to do. I think that because I've been so down in life, I feel like I did shut down. Not necessarily becoming an atheist, but I felt like I'm doing all this. I'm doing rituals. I'm doing spiritual work. I have good character, and still things are not manifesting for me. Everything, oh, divine timing, divine timing. I was just stop. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I don't want to hear that no more because I did everything right. I did everything right, and nothing's working for me. So I
Well,
lost
wait, considering, are you talking about in every area of your life, or you're saying specifically in love?
in love in every area. I feel so. I lost hope. I started feeling disconnected. So I was even trying to get clarity from outside of myself, from other readers and other spiritual advisors, because I'm like, I can't hear anything anymore because I feel like I did everything for so many years. I've been on the spiritual path for so many years and nothing's manifested. It feels like I'm stuck. It is not me feeling like, oh, it's a magic trick, you wish something and things happen. It's not that. I know that's not how it works, but still doing the works and still seeing some kind of progression, it wasn't there.
I feel like we're gonna have to dive deep behind the
Yeah.
scenes here. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But let me just see what let me just tap into a chakra real quick for you. And then Jessica, if you want to add in here.
Yeah.
So this is your crown, and it's speaking on strong attachments to possessions. This might not have anything to do with your material possessions per se, but it just shows that you cling to certain things, whether it's like certain situations, outcomes. It's like you hoard it. So
I
you
do.
might have a buildup of things and things tucked away in spots that you don't even see or recognize consciously because it's a pattern that you've held for a long time here.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say we're going to have to dive deep behind the scenes, but as far as getting the sperm donor, so far it's not showing that the energy is conducive to the household because these cards should be in the upright.
Mm-hmm.
If you did
That's
that,
right.
you would want the Nine of Cups to be here in the upright. Happy babies, happy home. That's
Mm-hmm.
what the Four of Wands represents. It represents home, structure. The foundation is right. But with it coming out in a reverse, it's saying that your internal foundation is off. And so
It's
therefore you're
all.
projecting an
Mhm.
energy that's not conducive to aligning with the right man that's going to be able to, bring the baby into the world. But as far as fertility, though, you've been pregnant before. So the issue is not that you cannot get pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got that part out the way. That's good. But what do you have, Jessica?
I'm gonna say what your spiritual team wants you to know, because the labyrinth card came out, the labyrinth of life. This is like a maze. So it's you can choose to be lost in the labyrinth of life, or use your trials to harness your inner strength and come out stronger and wiser. But beautiful things take time to grow. See, that's why the Queen of Earth, this is the energy you're supposed to be grounded in. But see, when this Queen of Earth ain't grounded, she's jealous. She's greedy. She's insecure. She's a gold digger. She's envious, self absorbed, selfish, unkempt, wishing ill intentions. So, your spiritual team wants you to ground yourself, connect to um, Earth, read up on each Earth sign: Taurus, honesty, loyalty, patience, Virgo, the purge, the server, Because Virgo give, they give. Don't nobody give back to Virgo, but they built for it. Capricorn, that's the old man, that's the wise man of the zodiac, that's the father of the zodiac. So stand in your earth energy, ground yourself, because you can get to the 10 of Pentacles, you can get your family. You ain't got to go to no sperm donor bank, but it says important connections are building. But see, this breaks 716 breaks down to a number 5, changes in relationship. How are you mentally here and here, your heart and your mind, when things happen? You know, you check your energy, check yourself, sit with your spiritual team and ground yourself, because abundance is here for you. But that's why them cards came out in reverse. You're not gonna get it until you first ground yourself.
Makes a lot of sense.
So
Yeah. I mean, Earth, we call it Mother Earth for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's something about getting back to your roots and just realigning yourself, finding yourself again. I feel like you might have lost yourself in the process of groping for it. You see what I'm saying? Rather than just being in the moment and just being relaxed and flowing with the energy and just allowing it to come to you, you've been groping for it. And so it's like what you're projecting out into the universe is somewhat of a lack mentality that says, I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
That's lack mentality. You see what I'm saying? So you want to do some work on your root chakra, which makes sense because we're going to the earth energy, as you mentioned, Jessica. Do some work on your root chakra to clear out all lack mentality, scarcity mindset, fear of not having enough, fear of missing out on opportunities. These are the types of things that you really want to tap in and start addressing. And then maybe even see, like, why are you afraid that it can't happen for you? What brought that into your mind? Where did it come from?
I know.
So I feel like, you want to do some deep dive in here. It's not that you haven't been putting in the work, but sometimes on the journey, a lot of times people don't know the right questions to ask.
Yeah.
That's the major component, is knowing the right questions. The answers, your spiritual team is going to drop that on you when the time is right, or they're going to bring it up from within you when the time is right. But the right questions, that's when you want to start getting real with yourself and asking those hard questions. So I do, like Jessica mentioned, you have the 10 of Cups there. You pulled that card. So that's good. Because the 10 of Cups deals with family, and it deals with a happy family. It's usually the mother, the father, and the children. So it's in the cards for you. But I feel like maybe it's something about the baby that you're meant to bring into the world that requires like that environment must be conducive to whatever that child needs for you to rear them up right. So just do some work. If you want to tap in behind the scenes, you already know, reach out and we can dive deeper and see what specifically do you need to do. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. And just one last tip before I go. I did have the last chat about a baby, was a little girl, and she looked like, because I was a single mom, and she was really disappointed about like me being a single mom, and she looked sick and sickly, and we were struggling, and I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, like, so I felt like it was confirmation for me, because maybe she doesn't want that. She doesn't want me to, be a single mom, voluntarily, even if it's from my choice. Like, she wants me. She feels like I probably settled. If I do that, if I go that route, I'm settled, and she won't be happy, and she won't have the life that she came here to have.
Yeah. And it leaves a lot of unanswered questions that she would not be able to get a hold of. You see what I'm saying? If you go to a donor, she would never be able to trace her steps from her father's side of the family. But also considering you don't want that for your baby. And that's why the scarcity mindset has to be addressed now, because let's just say you did take that route. You got pregnant, you had your child. The scarcity mindset is still going to be there. So now you got the baby, which is what you've been hoping for. But now, do I have enough to take care of the baby? Do I have enough, time to be able to run around with the baby? Do I have enough hands to, you see what I'm saying? So enough support, things like that. So that scarcity is going to find its way back into your position as a mother. even once you get your child, if you do it without addressing that issue first. So you just want to consider making sure that the climate is right. That's all. And it'll come to you in divine timing. I know you hate that. I know you hate that. You don't like to hear that, but just consider time is fluid. It's not linear. So if you shift how you view time, then you'll have a better appreciation for just going with the flow. Don't look at it like this fixed 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Look at it like it's a wave. You know, it can happen at any given moment. There's infinite possibilities. And then you'll be able to work with the energy a lot better. Okay.
Can I ask you something? What do you what do you do like on, I guess, financially? How do you, where are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you consider yourself as financially stable?
No, not
Okay.
right. But even if when I was financially stable, things weren't manifesting. That's why I was just like, okay, it's which
Okay.
I didn't know
I
what was blocked.
I ask because I intuitively sense that it's something that you're supposed to be doing, but you're not doing because you're consumed with other things. Because this Queen of Pentacles, look at her. She's focused on herself. She's standing in her abundance. She's saying, whatever comes to me, comes to me. Whatever leaves me, leaves me. And she's okay with that. This Queen of Earth, this Queen of Pentacles has no worries. So then you got the 10 of Cups. I think I saw the 9 of Cups. You're supposed to be sitting in a comfortable position financially.
Yeah.
So what are your spiritual gifts?
And I don't know exactly what it is, to be honest.
But to start right there, because
Okay. Yeah.
Queen of Pentacles is what you're called to. So whatever this 10 of Cups is yours, you dream about it. It's yours, but first, it's like they're saying, no, you got to tap in.
That's
So,
vital. Because consider your womb, you're supposed to be giving birth to your creative pursuits right now.
right about
If
now.
it's not being used to give birth to a baby right now, use it to plant seeds, nurture those seeds internally, and give birth to creative ideas. Because that Queen of Pentacles, I didn't even know that was a Queen of Pentacles card that you pulled. So that makes even more sense. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to have a certain level of stability and security so that you are fully confident in your position as a mother before you bring your child into the world. And if you wasn't, then again, that would take you right back to that mindset of scarcity, and you'll be overly consumed with, do I have enough? And what am I going to do to make ends meet, to make sure I feed my child? So you don't want to get wrapped up on another cycle, that Wheel of Fortune in reverse, where you can't get off of it. And every time you look up, okay, you get what you want, but now there's another worry. So use this time wisely to find your calling. And that's something else that we could also tap into behind the scenes if you want to look and see what's that all about. What's your purpose and things like that. So I hope this brought you some clarity, Jessica.
Yeah, you guys brought some information that was on point. My financial situation. Every girl, Jessica, you my twin, Aquarius.
Yes.
You guys are amazing. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With you guys.
All right. I look forward to it. Take care.
Good too.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. All right. Let's see. So now, all right. I'm taking 2 more, y'all. I know. Let me see. And I think we're exactly at 2 people. So I have Vicky, and then I also have Shells. I think it says Shells. So let's see. Hey, Vicky.
Hey, Shari. Hey, Jessica. It's
Hey,
so
Vic.
nice to be up here with you all. I've been watching you for at least a year now, Shari. And
Appreciate you.
every time I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like she's so cool and she's so like intuitive. I'm trying to get like you, or my version of what I need to be. I'm
Thank
inspired.
you.
I'm
Appreciate
so
you.
grateful to have people on YouTube with like real messages because I'm a Sagittarius. My birthday is December 19th. I'm 33 years old. I have 2 boys. The oldest one is March 21st, 2012. So he's 13. He'll be 14 in March. And then the second one is October 28th, 2012. So he's a Scorpio. And so the issue that I'm having right now, I'm going through a court case. I was in a shooting at my job. as a single mother, and you guys gave her great advice. You even helped me because I do want to have a little girl one day, and I'm 33, and I'm kind of scared because I haven't found the right man, and I don't want to rush it. And even with this crazy world, I'm not even sure if I want to bring a child in this world right now because I'm scared I'm not going to be able to protect like I want to because basically I had very controlling, overbearing parents that would do welfare checks at my house. Like, because after the shooting, I was diagnosed with anxiety and PTSD, and they would do welfare checks at my house. And they were trying to get custody over my kids because I'm also looking to get a settlement from this situation.
Mm.
And one time in December 12th, 2023, they came to my house and disguised it as they were that I wanted that they needed help with my grandma in Maryland. And so I was 10:30 at night and I was halfway asleep. My kids were with their dad. And excuse me, I have anxiety and it's kind of nervous being on screen. But so they took me. The police officer, you got good police officers, you got bad police. A lot of police officers would tell me I'm doing a welfare check and nothing would be wrong. But this police officer didn't even tell me, and they just took me to the hospital, and I had a panic attack because I was somewhere I didn't know where I was at, and they wouldn't tell me. And so, with being in a psychiatric center, my parents, they were the ones that were telling them that I was hallucinating because my dad touched my son. Not all the way, but he touched him in an inappropriate spot. And my son, when got 10, he was telling me, am I gay? And I don't know if I could say that on live, sorry. Am I this way? And I was like, no, it's not you. I that's when I felt like I had to do something legally, and I was pressing for him to be, whatever they were going to do. I just needed my son to see that his mom was for him because I continued to keep a relationship with my family, even though I saw it. It was like he tickled him in the wrong area, in his like pond pots. So, and my dad never did nothing crazy like that before. But fast forward to all of this, you guys can ask questions if you want more. I just don't want to take up all your time. After that situation, when my parents were saying that I was hallucinating and about my son getting touched, when I was in the hospital, they labeled me with schizophrenia, which I have since got re-diagnosed to my current diagnosis because my previous counselor was like, she's the one that told me your parents are abusive. They abused you back when you were a child. I never even thought that that was what was going on, that they were controlling. I just thought it was out of love. And so now it's to the situation where CPS had got involved, and my children's father has custody of my kids, and I'm fighting for it. And I always thought that it was a possibility that we would get together. And when I had custody of the kids, he owed me child support, and I was just doing it by myself. And it was to the point where before they took the kids, he was about to go to jail. But I said we should just work together. And now that the shoe is on the other foot, he's not letting me speak to the kids. He's not letting me because I can't speak to the kids right now because during the CPS, I was so emotional that I didn't finish the test because I was just crying. I love my kids. I had them naturally. I was there with them every day, told them I love you every day, breastfed them. So I took it really hard because I felt like those were the only two people that loved me unconditionally. And, courts don't understand tears and they don't act like they're human to me. So I just wanted to reach out to you all to see like what is my son's feeling. My son, because my oldest son, I know they're confused as to because the court said I couldn't even discuss what happened that night. So they don't. All they know is mommy's gone. They did know that I had anxiety and stuff like that. So I don't know what stories they're telling them. I know their dad is probably telling them your mom's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So they're
Because
saying you're
that
not
was
allowed to
always his thing.
discuss, you can't discuss with your sons the reason why CPS got involved. That's what you're saying?
Exactly, yes. Because right
Okay.
now we're still in the court system, and right now I have no contact with them.
Okay.
It's been 2 years,
Well, let
going
me
on
see,
two
because I do
years.
want to ask you, because it sounds like it's been a roller coaster ride, like really,
Oh, it's been
really
terrible, and
bad.
I've been listening to your messages to get me through.
Okay. Okay. So have you been focused on like using this time to like really focus on healing yourself?
I have, because when I had my children, like my dad was Jehovah Witness, my mom was Christian, so I would when I met my children's father, he really introduced me into the spiritual realm, of getting outside of religion. So I always kind of had a love for him because he helped me get to know more of my roots, like a freedom. So yeah, I have been taking this time to heal and actually get my because I even with my kids, the last couple of years, my kids, I had went back to church because I had fell out with my parents, even though I knew church probably wasn't the best answer. I just needed fellowship because I really couldn't find a conscious community around here. So
Mhm. Okay, well, let me see
I
what.
might have confused my kids a little bit, but I'm
Okay.
hoping to get them back and get them teach them what I've learned and be more confident.
Yes, I mean, I think it's really good that the father is spiritually aligned, though.
He is,
That's a
but he
plus.
told me he worships Satan. That's what he told me. So it was like he knew spirituality, but he also thought Satan was considered like we were Satan in the Bible. That's what they were talking
Well,
about. That
and
was his
that's the thing. Like,
perception of it.
I've also heard that. I've heard that too. I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so all
But
right.
he is
I'm
very
taking
wise. He can teach him some stuff that I can't teach him, but I don't know where
yeah,
he's at really spiritually. Because if he was where I was at, he would have still kept the connection with me. Because I kept the connection. I always thought it was good that they knew their father, even when he wasn't doing right.
he should still
And I've done
understand the
nothing wrong.
balance of both. Yeah, the importance of both. Yeah, that shows a lot about his healing. Like to understand the importance of having that relationship on both ends. It does say something about his healing process. But let me just see. I want to see why. What's the lesson in all of this first, and then we
Mhm.
can tap in because I know you wanted to know some things about where your sons stand emotionally right now.
Yeah.
So,
And is there anything I can do to let them know? Because I just pray and just be like, angels, let them know I love them. Let them know. I
mhm,
don't know.
mhm. So I mean, the good thing you have the temperance card. This is really all about you finding your emotional
Mhm.
balance.
Damn it.
It's something about
Wow. Hmm.
stabilizing yourself internally and finding that peace, but it's also about healing. It's about pouring into your own cup. I don't know if you was
Hmm.
like doing too much, wearing too many
I
hats.
was.
Okay.
I let my sisters live with me. I've taken care of other people's kids. I've taken care of boyfriends. I love to give. And I just heard Louis Farrakhan say, when a single mother is pouring into somebody, she needs somebody to pour into her cup. And I've had mental breakdowns, and I thought they try to say it was schizophrenia, but really it was just stress. You
Yeah.
know, it
You
was
was completely
overload.
drained.
Yes, and
And
then
I like
confused
what
because
he
people
said.
will lie to you.
Mhm. What he said is
Sorry,
significant, but consider you see what's happening here?
she's what pouring her drink in her cup.
Pouring into her own cup.
Into her own.
Yes,
Mhm.
and that's
So
what I've
even
been
though
trying to
it's
do.
significant, it's important for others to pour back into you, but you got to first pour back into you to show them what you expect from them. You see what I'm saying? And I don't
And
feel
I've
like you're
totally let
doing that.
myself go.
Like, yeah. So this is where your spiritual team, they want you to get back on track and get here.
Okay,
Find
thank
your
you.
internal balance again so nobody else can come in and rock your boat. I feel like too many
Hmm.
people had access to a button.
They did.
You know
I
what I'm
let
saying?
too many people in my home. Yeah, I can't say too much, but yeah, I let too many people in my house. Yeah, I given up my son's bed so that my sisters can sleep there. They love sleeping in bed with me anyway sometimes when they were younger, but giving up their beds, I made that declaration. I will never let anybody sleep in my kids' bed. They will have a blow up bed because
Mhm.
everybody that I gave their room up to, they're nowhere to help me.
Yeah.
That's how it
Yeah.
goes.
Let me see. I'm gonna take one more here, and then Jessica
Mhm.
definitely. Okay, they gave me two. Okay, we got all major arcana. So you have the magician and the fool.
What's that mean?
So literally, all of this happened. You're supposed to be learning how to
Mhm.
create.
Yeah.
What do you want? Using the tools that
Mm-hmm.
you have to create the life that you want and that you desire. But first, it can't happen without the internal balance because it's always about as
Mhm.
within, so without. So without
Yes,
this
ma'am.
temperance and having control over your emotions, manifesting what you want is not going to be an easy thing to do. But then you have the fool card here. So this is all about a fresh start. You literally had to pack light. It's something about dropping all of the weight and burdens you was carrying way too much baggage, other people's baggage, and you needed a total reset. That's
Mm-hmm.
what this was all about, a total reset,
That's what
even
it
to the point where
is.
your mind had to go through a total reset to where,
Mhm.
a lot of times people that end up in facilities for what they might consider mental health, their mind is like it's doing so many different things that it needs like a reset, like to snap
Right.
them out of whatever that chaotic energy is and bring them back to themselves again. So I feel like all of this happened for your highest good. I'm not getting anything to indicate that it was meant to work
It was
against you.
meant to, yeah.
Nope, not
Well,
one
thank you,
time.
because I doubt myself all the time. Like, what did I do? I should have protected them more. Like, I wanted to be with my kids even past 18. They could have stayed with me. Like, I'm one of those mothers that never wanted to let go. You know, of course, as a grown man, I want them to be a man, you know, but don't push them out in the world until they're ready. And I just feel like they just made me neglect them.
Mm,
So there's a lot that even still you're going to have to sort through not holding on to that event. Because it's
mm,
almost like, I don't know, how much do you think about it? Is it something that replays in
Every
your mind
day,
often? Okay, so
every day, because I'm not supposed to be alone right now. So I feel I have two boys. You know, I'm supposed to hear from them. Like they were never. It's been over a year. You know, I missed. My son graduated from elementary school to middle school. I gave one of them, the oldest one, a graduation party. I didn't give the other one a graduation party, and I want to treat them fair. I know this is all out of my control, but you know,
mm.
um, yeah,
but
it just saddens me.
you're going to reunite with your
It-
children.
yeah.
The question is, are you going to come in like totally transform? Because when you
That's what I'm
reunite
trying
with
to
them,
do.
you want to come back in where it's like, mommy, like your energy is so bright, it's so high vibrational, it's healing to the point where even when you see their father, you don't even have to roll your eyes at him. Just like he's
Yeah, because
focused because he no
Shavis,
longer has access to a button that no longer exists because you've done the work. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? That's where you want to be.
mm,
But go
and
ahead.
it's so crazy because I always want to go back to him because that's my children's father, but everybody's telling me leave that alone because you know at your worst, you know he wasn't there. So
Mhm.
just look ahead, and is that what you're telling me? Look ahead.
Oh yeah, that's what's in the
Mhm.
cards. It's speaking on using this time to create what you want, but
Mhm.
again, certain things have to be offloaded first so that your energy is light enough to manifest. But you have all of the tools that you need. It's like you have access to a lot of different things. Apparently, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom that you've gained, the
Mhm.
lessons that you've learned. You got a lot of tools to work with. So it just
Thanks to
sounds like you
you.
want to use this time to not be overly concerned about, okay, well, my babies aren't here. Because consider if your babies were there, they would be the perfect distraction because you're used to being the nurturer, the giver. You're used to having people codependent on you. But right now, your inner child is saying, focus on me.
Mhm.
Mhm,
Focus on me, focus on healing self, pouring back into yourself. Now's the perfect time to fill up your own cup. Like you could
mhm.
have that thing tipping over. You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
you don't have a lot of people pulling on your energy, and the ones that used to pull on your energy, you learned the vital lesson of not giving to them because you see that
yeah.
they did not pour back into you. So this was all a
Mhm,
huge favor to clear, get rid of folks. You know what I'm saying? And to teach you
Mhm.
how to treat yourself
See?
better. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Jessica.
Well,
thank you.
one, I want to say that you're on a path to mastery. And also, I
Okay.
want to say, while you were talking and Shavi were talking, I just got all kind of information. Like my spiritual team just speaking to me. I literally saw somebody take a brick and they threw it. And when I looked at what it was thrown at, it was a rearview mirror.
Hmm.
Break the rearview mirror, cause something got you looking. Like you can't
I'm
drive for
always looking back. I'm
yeah.
always looking back on
Break
childhood because I'm
the rear,
like,
yeah.
what went
Break
wrong?
it
What went wrong?
because where you were at, your third chakra took a hit. And that can't be so. Because Sagittarius is the seer. You can't, how you know where to point that arrow? You a Sagittarius? Yeah, that's the seer. I see. You see the truth. But somewhere it got distorted. So you might be you got a strong water placement somewhere in your chart. So illusions, panics, migraines, nightmares, lack of intuition and imagination, paranoia, hallucinations, emotional imbalance is what you had to deal with. But you're called to 5D energy, unity of your masculine and your feminine energy, because this third eye in reverse put you in a 5 of Cups energy to where you were just left out in the cold. You was helping people, and people were down. They were down. They got up and helped themselves. They ain't thinking about
Hmm.
you and what you had to lose. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They're like, okay, I'm up now. I'm able to move and do what I need to do. It's all about me. But see, now this is where you're having to say, okay, well, it's all about me now, because things are out of your hand. Um, Co-create. That's what the 5D energy is about. Being intuitive, being in unity, being in sync with yourself, creating that evolution for growth. Because the way you were brought up is like, but see, you're very wise though. You're
Thank
wise, and
you.
I just feel like, and that's why you're attracted to, who was it, your baby dad? I feel like
He's
it's
a
a strong connection
Sagittarius
there.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so y'all love information. Gemini, back energy to Sagittarius. That's what balances the energy out. Y'all love to get information. Y'all love to talk about it. Y'all are teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Focus on you, because something is coming. Okay. And I say that because, see, we got the 5D card, unity within yourself, but in a level of 5D. This is grounded, high frequency energy. It's going to bring about a 2 of Cups energy within you, okay, to where you become the Queen of Pentacles, okay, not having a care in the world, embracing, just being stable, the stability, the honesty, being loyal to yourself and your cause. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not the count, not the, no, what's the cause behind it? What's the
Mm-hmm.
purpose? Because somebody that do something outside of a cause is foolish, you know. And then the cause has to mean something. Weigh
Right.
the cause. You know what I'm saying? So know that you
Mhm.
are what you need. This is your angel card, the angel of attraction. It says shine a light on the people and things you are attracting into your life. Like seeks like. If you don't value yourself, the people in your life will reflect this lack of self-worth. Okay.
Mm.
Ask yourself if the people you spend time with mirror the things you admire and love in yourself. Is there a balance of giving and taking those relationships? Let the angel of attraction help you to be truthful with yourself. If you close relationships, if your close relationships are not supportive, you need to reevaluate them or find ways to bring greater balance into them. So bear in mind that attraction is not just expressed in your relationships, but also through the energetic power of your thoughts, feelings, and most important of all, your actions. So if you feel low, counteract that by doing something positive. Actions always speak louder than words when it comes to attracting good things in your life. So the angel of attraction is with you.
Thank
This
you.
spirit of attraction is with you. But see, you had to wake up to this. You had to wake up to the understanding of the 5 of Cups. Choosing yourself first and understanding, where you come from with this third eye chakra being in reverse. So you're
Mhm.
on the path to mastery though.
Okay, that's
So
good.
stand your
Yeah.
ground, stay grounded, and
What is it?
obtain. Mhm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Thank you so much for that information. It really does help me when it comes to like, because I love to give, and sometimes I don't know when to not
Mhm.
give, and so that helps me have some discernment on when to take energy from my cup
Yeah.
next time around. What does it mean when somebody burns your stuff? Because I know my children's father had burned my stuff when we like, and I'm like, was that a ritual against me?
It could have
I mean,
been.
considering that he is
Already.
spiritual, he
Yeah.
he might have seen it as old energy that he wanted to purge or
Mhm.
clear away.
Okay.
But I mean, everybody does things for different reasons, but it really sound
Mhm.
unless he was doing it to be spiteful. I mean, that's another reason. But
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds spiteful.
you felt
Yeah.
like it was more for spiteful reasons at that time.
I mean, I wanted my stuff. He didn't give me none of my stuff. Maybe like a
Okay.
bag. So
Yeah.
I just, I question like, does he love me or does he not know how to love? Is he hurt because he had mommy issues? That's why I always was like, I felt like a different energy towards him. Like I should show him the love that he's missing, and maybe he will, be that person. But yeah, I think
But
I'm thinking
consider
too
when
much
you
into it.
attracted him into your life, if you felt like you had to nurture something that was not nurtured within him, then he was also the reflection of you wanting him to nurture something that was not being nurtured within you. You see what I'm saying? So let's just say if you was over giving emotionally and you might have felt like it wasn't reciprocal, he wasn't pouring back into you emotionally, and that triggered something. It's because both of y'all was kind of reflecting something off onto each other that was
Right.
deeply embedded. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you get to a space where you try not to put too much emphasis on exterior factors, people and stuff like that. You don't want to put too
Okay.
much emphasis there just off the strength that you have certain things that you got to heal. You might find that the more that you heal yourself, the less that you really, the less concern that you have about what's going on with him internally. You see what I'm saying? You might even find that you're not even attracted to him the more that you heal.
Yeah, there are times where I feel like that. It's just how you start to think. I thought he was my soulmate. I thought because I was like I had kids with him for a reason, which I do know. You don't just you have kids. It doesn't necessarily mean you're a twin flame, but I just felt like he probably was my twin flame. So that's the only reason I keep thinking about him because I had kids with him.
Yeah.
And we did have a great time, but it
Yeah, that's
ended.
it's normal to still have residual energy. He could very well be a soulmate. You
But
have
you
all
know,
types of soulmates, but it could have been a karmic
karmic,
soulmate,
but that's
one that
all
Yeah.
came
twin
in to
flame
trigger
is.
your awakening, you know, which he did. And
Yeah,
so it's like
it's the
sometimes
mission.
you want to consider that certain things are for a season, for a reason. You know, some things are meant to be lifelong and other things are not. So the more you just embrace the journey and stay in the now, because it sounds like you kind of revert to the past often. But the
I
more that you
do.
stay in the now, like this present moment, and just center yourself, you're going to find that, you know, everything else was just a snapshot moment of your life. And it's not really relevant today unless you going through the catalog of photos. That's when it
Yes.
becomes relevant again. Otherwise, it's just energy that's, you know, you can either pull it back up or you can just keep going and create new energy for yourself. So I feel like you want to just focus on creating new memories, new energy, and like it says with the magician, focus on manifesting a different future for yourself.
Okay, so focus on because
Yeah.
when the right person comes, they will show up and there will be no question. Basically, you shouldn't have to spoon feed somebody on how to treat you.
Yeah, you want to be very
Um,
clear about that. But I'll just give
so
you
what
one
should I
last
do for
card.
my sons? What should I do for my sons? Like as far as like, is there something that they're wanting from me right now that I should like something?
Let me see.
You
Let
know,
me see. I'm
any
gonna read this
ideas?
real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, but as far as what you should do for your sons, I'll pull a couple of cards and then we're gonna close out. This says you are a strong spiritual warrior possessing the ability to, oh, I need some glasses. Oh, the ability to evolve. Wait a minute. The ability to evoke change in others. Music is very healing for you and is powerful in transforming others as well. Everything that you speak, think, and visualize shapes your reality. And once you've mastered your internal reality, you will possess great ability to influence the experience of others. So it really goes back to what we was already saying. Mastering your internal reality, and then you're going to have a strong influence on your children because that's really the only ones that matters outside of yourself right now,
Yes,
right? As
that is
far as those people
true.
in your immediate circle. So it's just talking about you focusing because you are a spiritual warrior. And the fact that you're a spiritual warrior reminds you that, yes, there's been a lot of spiritual warfare, without a doubt, a lot
Hmm.
of generational things that needed to be cleared. And it took a lot of chaotic energy for you to realize just how powerful you are and how you can overcome and push through. So, as far as what you should do for your sons, it's nothing greater than becoming the best version of
This
yourself.
version. Yeah.
You see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like,
And
Hmm.
I'm
what
gonna
else could
say,
you do for them that's greater?
I got
That
the
is.
betrayal card when you asked, I don't know if you asked how does your son view you or whatever, or what was
Oh,
your
that's a
main
good question. I did want to ask that though. How do they view me?
ask
Because I do wonder
something.
how they view me. I don't know. I don't. I'm
But
sorry, I
what
can't
you need to
remember.
know is that your kids are watching you.
Yeah, I do
It
know
was
that.
meant for you to deal with betrayal. It was meant for you to go through this betrayal. They're watching how they're watching you to see how you handle
Bounce.
you. They want to when you balance your comeback is gonna be so what is it? You're gonna it's almost like becoming abundance but attracting it. You're gonna start attracting once you become the Ace of Pentacles. It's like I see you like this right here. You're gonna be so focused on healing, so focused on making sure your mind is right. You're gonna be so focused on making sure that you are in alignment. I even see you paying attention to moon cycles. You're gonna be so in tune and in alignment. Things that ain't gonna have no choice but to line up for you, because like we were saying earlier, everything is in numbers. The heavens, everything is numbers. You're going to be in
Mhm.
alignment, and it's going to be like a tight seal, and things are just going to have to release itself like to you. But you got to get there first. That's why the Queen of Pentacles came out. The Two of Cups, finding the balance in duality. So you got some work to do.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
oh, and another thing, do you have any connection to any animals? Do you have a pet?
I used to have dogs, but I just sold my dog because I had to move out my house. But I always keep a nice little dog.
Okay, is
My
it
la-
one that passed away, or it could just be a dog or something?
and my dog Tootsie, I had to sell him. I didn't want to sell him, but my boyfriend at the time didn't like dogs and should have kept the dog because he's not around.
So it could just be a good omen, like for you to have a pet, a dog, because
Okay,
I got the animal spirit guides here.
so
So
good to have a pet. Yeah, my dog, he was very smart. I miss him. I want to buy him back.
But also consider it could be just alluding to the fact that that one situation speaks volumes about how you compromise your happiness for other people's likes
for
and
others.
dislikes. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? If he
Yeah,
met you with the dog,
yeah,
you see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like he should have
Yeah,
just
I
come to him and
literally,
said, like, yeah, I can't talk to you because I don't do dogs. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
you don't say, well, I'll just get rid of what I love in order to fit into your world. Like there should be a merging that's happening here, some
yeah,
sort of compromise. But you've been compromising your own happiness for others. So it could be bringing up the dog just for that reason, like being loyal, because the dog represents loyalty. Be loyal to yourself. Don't
Right.
be loyal to
Yeah.
others first before you're loyal to yourself and your own happiness.
hmm
Yeah. That's deep.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, I'm
you.
glad you reached out, Vicky, and I hope this brought you some clarity.
Yes, I'll be reaching out to you more
All
actually
right.
through your
All right.
website.
Yes. Forward to it. And consider your name has 333 in it. So
That's
I'm
my
glad
angel
that you
number.
came up. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that three
Okay.
because apparently we started off putting threes up in the chat. But thank you, Vicky, for
Yeah.
coming on.
Like,
All right.
thank you for having me. Have a good night.
You
You
too.
too. Bye.
Yeah, something significant about that number three, Jessica. I feel like it's
Yeah.
he had so many people, three children. I'm 33 years old. You
Hmm.
know, and then she had the threes. So apparently we're looking at Empress energy. It's all about aligning yourself with
Yeah.
that Empress energy, which is the
Mhm.
embodiment of all four queens. And it's
Mhm.
not the easiest place to get to because it's a level up that happens with
Yeah.
that Empress energy. And it's like, of course, the high priestess is in there. The hermit is all, she's wrapped up in all of that energy. So it's like aligning yourself,
Mhm.
study what does it mean to be the Empress? Um, and you're going to find that you'll be a far greater mother. You'll nurture yourself a lot more. You'll
Mhm.
expect others to pour into you, and you'll know that you deserve that life of comfort. You deserve that life of abundance. You deserve to bask in your creativity and all of the fruits of your labor and things like
Yeah.
that when you really truly embody that Empress energy. So, really align with that for the divine feminine out there. So, I'm glad. Thank you, Jessica, for coming on again.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes. And if people want to reach you, how can they contact you again?
Email me at unconventionaljack11 at
Okay. Let me see, because I know that's a lot. We should have put that up a long time ago.
gmail.com.
Girl, I'm gonna be writing that for the next 2 hours. Let me see. Unconventional
Jack 11.
11 at Gmail, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Yes. So definitely for and what are you offering again, Jessica?
I'm offering readings, 15-minute, 30-minute readings, birth natal chart readings, focused around healing. I'm doing even, I'm pulling your children's birth natal information on healing for them as well. That's what I've been doing lately. Um, So yeah, email me.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, I'm so glad y'all was able to come out. All right, Jessica, I'll be talking to you soon, lady.
Okay. All right.
All right. I'm glad y'all was able to join us tonight. This has been very insightful. I even got more tips as a mother, things that I can implement in my household. So I hope that this brought you all clarity out there for those of you who joined in the live, as well as those of you who might see this in the future. Let this just be something that's just, marked in time where maybe your future daughters and children can come back and tap in to understand the dynamics of being on a spiritual journey and maintaining their position as mothers, and being able to navigate that journey with balance, and being able to remain centered. So I appreciate all of you. I'm gonna go ahead and check out, y'all. We've been on for almost 3 hours. So I think we've done enough for tonight. But I love you all, and I'll talk to y'all soon.